calamities. So, yeah, people are really not, they don't take much time. So, yeah, say they are immediately, they can evacuate.
Okay. I'll just give you some more time to fix the background.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yes.
Give me
I think you have to turn off the background in the settings. If you could just do that, we will continue to show more shots that we have received, the visual that we received from the coastline also, from Hokkaido also. These are aerial visuals, viewers. You can see the waves, of course, the waves just hitting the coast over there. But as Nupur was telling us, that it is, Japan falls in that kind of an area where it is prone to earthquakes. So this is the measures are all in place as far as Japan is concerned. It has witnessed a tragic tsunami in the past as well, back in the 2000s, and now there is, of course, another scare because the magnitude of the earthquake is quite intense. So. Talk about Japan earthquake. Japan is in the seismic area, very active seismic area. Nupur, if you could just show us around, I think we're getting your visual.
Right. So this is the station area. You can see that everything is very normal. People are really moving, and behind me you can see the pachinko. Pachinko means actually slot. So everything. People are moving. People are going back home from their work. And, excuse me. So, here.
So how far is the epicenter from Tokyo?
This is actually around 1,200 kilometers.
All right. Okay.
So it's really far. So, and actually the Japanese, it doesn't affect Japanese that because they are very much used to almost.
Okay, you stay with us.
Can you see?
Yeah. Yes. Nupur, just stay on with us. We're also getting in experts also. We have SkyMet President, Mr. G.P. Sharma, joining us. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on this developing story. Sir, how do we interpret the impact, how dangerous this could be, how much time there is if we understand the tsunami warning is in place, sir?
7.5 magnitude. Obviously, when it is there in the sea, epicenter is in the sea, it is quite natural that the tsunami warning is issued because it's a big earthquake. Okay, it's a severe earthquake activity, and therefore it is quite natural that the tsunami warning is issued anytime when such big earthquakes they happen. So is the case with Japan, and this is a country which is used to these types of severe earthquakes, and as we see, this earthquake happened at about 1:30 in the afternoon as per our time. Okay, about 13:30. It's almost about 2 hours from now. It is in the at a depth of about 10 kilometers deep in the sea. Therefore, the amount of volume of water which it will displace, that will be large. Already, as per some reports, though it is in the prefectures, that is the Iwate prefecture, which is there, it is not over the mainland as such, as the other reporter also said that it's about more than 1,000 kilometers from Tokyo. But definitely the coastline will get affected. The tsunami waves, they travel very, very fast. As per the reports, there are some small islands also which are in the proximity. They already have some small waves of the height of about a meter or so, though they cannot cause as much harm. But then caution is to be exercised for a few more hours. I will say to wait for, if anything of that nature, tsunami wave. It can affect the coastline. And particularly the feature of these waves are, tsunami waves are, they hit repeatedly. It's not that the one wave will come and that gets over and nothing else will be there. Behind that, there could be a series of that. So repeatedly they hit. So therefore, utmost caution is to be exercised. I will
Absolutely.
say,
It brings back the memories of 2011 earthquake when the tsunami was triggered by a 9 magnitude earthquake, of course. But we'll just stay on with us, Mr. Sharma. We'll just go across to Nupur once again, who's showing us around Tokyo. She's reporting live from Tokyo. Nupur, just tell us, you see normalcy right now. You know that there are measures in place. And in fact, we've seen over the years that Japan has been handling, these daily seismic activities, especially. It falls in the ring of fire. But how does it really, what are the measures, if you could just tell us about, that have been taken?
Okay, so let me tell you, I was in a meeting in one of the big corporates in their I think 20th floor, and we felt a little bit. We were in a meeting, we were very busy talking. We felt a little bit, and immediately when we checked, it said that almost 7.5 earthquake. So, maybe, for other countries, it is a very big thing. For Japan, it's like, okay, we are ready. Wherever it is happening, people are ready there to evacuate. People are ready. The government is ready. The Prime Minister immediately asked people to evacuate. So things are not really like other countries here. People. Okay.
Yeah.
So people are really, really always ready to evacuate, always ready to take the action immediately. So it is not, as you can see, that things are really, nobody's really panicking. It doesn't matter whether it is so far, that's why people are not panicking. If you go to that area also, people don't panic because they really ready for anything. And that is maybe this country is, this country is very special or unique, you can say, that they take the action. Instead of panicking, they take the action, and they take the action very immediately. Immediately, government they take action. Immediately, the people, they know when to evacuate, where to evacuate, because everything is decided every day. People knows that if something happens, this is the area we have to go. This is the school we have to go. So everything is ready. They keep their bags ready. They're very much ready since 365 days. It's not because today is the earthquake or tsunami. That's why people are going to evacuate. They're always ready. 365 days they're ready. And this is Japan. So I have been living here from last 23 years. So this is very much part of daily life, that you are always ready for anything.
Right. Stay on with us, Mr. D.P. Sharma. Well, as we understand that now, with what has happened in the past, Japan has indeed taken precautions. But you were talking about the tsunami waves. Now, how, if you talk about this magnitude of earthquake, 7.4, 7.5 being reported, can we predict the intensity of the tsunami also, or rather, for lack of a better word, magnitude or the impact? How dangerous a tsunami can be triggered by this magnitude of an earthquake?
You see, the tsunami, it depends on the position of the epicenter of the earthquake. Okay, its depth also.
Okay,
if it is deep, the deeper the epicenter is, the more displacement of water it takes place. Okay, it covers more areas. The tsunami becomes bigger and bigger. In case the magnitude is higher, magnitude is more, and the depth is more. Both the things put together, becomes a little catastrophic. The other thing is its position. If it is very, very far away from the coastline, obviously it will take time, even if the tsunami is generated. But as a matter of principle, as and when any big earthquake strikes over the sea or so, it is an SOP, standard operating procedure, that tsunami warning has to be issued. Because tsunami warning, the tsunami waves, as I said earlier, they hit repeatedly. They hit the coastline repeatedly, and they travel tremendous speed, very far. I have had the opportunity to visit this country, Japan, though it was almost about 9 years back or so. but they are definitely, they take a lot of precautions. All their buildings, you can feel when the earthquake is there, they sway all right, but they won't collapse.
Okay, stay on with us, Mr. Sharma. I think we're getting in more inputs from Nupur, who's reporting live from Tokyo. Nupur, if you have there been any sort of alerts being issued for specific areas, as Mr. Sharma was telling us about the location also is important about the epicenter. So, which all area in Japan are on alert, and has there been evacuation from any of those areas?
So the center is definitely, Fukushima is also affected, the Hokkaido, Iwate, and Aomori. These are the areas really affected, and those places, the evacuation warning is given. So people definitely started. What I saw last time in NHK, that people started evacuating, and the Prime Minister started talking and making people, relax that yes, everything is going to be fine. They start evacuating, and but actually, people are really looking at me because nobody does it really like that. So the thing is that even the Fukushima is very much affected. So Daiichi, Daini, those those factories, which was 2011, which was too much affected. So now Fukushima is very stable, but still the people in Fukushima also they have to evacuate, and they have started evacuating as well. So I can say that, taking the NHK news or other news, what I saw last, that yes, things are not stable, but things are there. The local government, especially the Hokkaido, Iwate, and Aomori government, they are taking all the measures, and the central government, the Prime Minister office is keeping an eye, and to constantly they're observing what is happening there. But yes, the people are evacuating, and very, very fast process it is, but without making much noise.
Okay. So the measures are in place, but it remains a critical situation. Definitely what we understand, looking at the situation right now, Nupur, we are getting those aerial shots continuously from the coastline. We do see that the waves are visible, very much visible right now. It doesn't look very, very aggressive right now, but on ground, it could, as GB Sharma was telling us, that it depends on the area, the location also that is feeling the impact. Ahead of this, what has been ahead of the after the epicenter, after the earthquake. Okay, since you've been living in Japan for a long time, Nupur, help us understand back in 2011 the scale of devastation that was witnessed and the measures that have been taken thereafter in the country.
So yeah, 2011, it was again the biggest earthquake that time, especially followed by tsunami. But that time the measure was taken, the Fukushima, Daiichi, the entire world knows what happened there. But the same thing, I don't see. As I said, that 23 years I have been living in this country. And when the 2011 happened, I was teaching at school. When I was teaching at school, and we got the news that this happened. We the principal said, just stay there wherever you are. It was very far from, Fukushima though. But still, we started getting the news without panicking. They said the entire country is united. Entire country will take me, if needed, we will go and we will, whatever. Especially what the thing actually we did not have, that was the food. The supermarket did not have the food because we had to send all the food to Fukushima. That was the only thing we were affected with. Otherwise, the country was totally calm. They knew what kind of, evacuation the country needs, what kind of state they need to take. So, really personally, I'm telling you, this country is very, very unique and very different from other countries. As you can see, the people are walking. They're not really. They're not even talking about. There is one big earthquake at 4:53. Nobody's talking about that. So this is the thing, that what happened. That is what is happening, you have to take care of that. You have to take, and this is beyond, just like, our Indian philosophy, this is beyond your control. You cannot do anything being here. So the government is taking all the measurement, all the, steps should be taken there. Evacuation process is going on. The central government, the Prime Minister office is, constantly observing. Prime Minister office is taking all the steps. The local government is taking all the steps, definitely. But this
yeah,
is
because I have to interrupt you there. I am just getting in some update that the Cabinet Secretary Minoru has said that residents should stay inland, and 100 households are without power, that some bullet train services are currently on hold. This is also what we are learning about the measures that have been taken. So there could be, there could be landslides, there could be similar earthquakes, because what happens, Nupur, is also, you must have experienced that as even Mr. G.P. Sharma was telling us, that even after, a tsunami, there's not one tsunami wave, there can be more tsunami waves, and the next one could be even more dangerous. Likewise, the earthquakes also, the tremors to follow could be also sometimes very intense, unfortunately, as scary as it may sound. Yeah.
Exactly, you were right. And it happened. After 2011, the aftershock was like so many months we experienced. So it was not only 2011, 2016 there was a big earthquake in Kyushu. And it was, 3-4 months we experienced the aftershock. And it was really big. The aftershock used to be like 6.5, close to 7. So yes, it will. And you never know. Maybe the other areas also, the tsunami warning, if it is not Iwate, Aomori and Hokkaido, tsunami warning is given there. But if more things happen, so other areas can be affected as well. So yes, there is a chance. This country is always ready for. The office of Prime Minister, the minister, they're already working, they're in contact with the local government, and local government is in contact with the residents of those areas. The evacuation process is very quick here. Evacuation, people are, they just announce it immediately where to go. Because, it's, as I said, that 365 days, people are ready here. They know this school. If something happens, the school is somewhere we have to go. Or, the place of the field area, so where we have to go. So these are all designated places. So the designated places, people are 365 days, they know where to go, what to do, what bag, it's ready, and what kind of things we have to take with us. If it is, for a week, for months, we have to stay out of home. So, of course, it is, nobody wants the earthquake or tsunami. But this country is so much ready for everything that, as you can see, I don't have to tell. The people are not even panicking, not at all. Think about other countries where, maybe the entire country would have panicked. So this is the difference between people are really walking, people are just crossing, coming back from home, coming back from the work and going home. This is a station area. So this is everything. The normal life is going on here. You wouldn't really feel that something happened. Of course, things are happening there. There are Japan Railway, that area already stopped. Nothing is, no public transportation is on there, no buses, no Japan Railway. So, of course, that area, things are very different. But entire country, the other parts of the country is very calm. And just like Zen, just like meditation, they are doing what they need to do for the rest, for the end of the day. So this is Japan. And this is what I always tell to the rest of the world, that Japan is very, very unique, very different from other countries, because they are always prepared. And they believe that what is in their control, they cannot control. What is not in their control, they cannot just let it go. Because people are there, they have chosen the Prime Minister, very capable Prime Minister, Takaichi-san, and they have great ministers also, as like Kyuchi Minoru-san, as you said. So they're observing the situation. They are sending the people from Tokyo to those areas, Iwate, Hokkaido and Aomori, and they are taking care. The local government very much quickly, they're taking all the actions. So I can say that what is in humans' hand, people would do. The government and the local government, people would do. What is not beyond control, definitely. Japan will say it was not in my control.
Rightly pointed out there. And as my colleague Nipur is getting us a lowdown live from Tokyo. She's telling us about how Japan deals with these situations in an active seismic zone, one of the most affected areas, and every year it experiences earthquakes and also of such a magnitude every 16 months, what I'm in fact getting to know. So it's one of the most seismically active countries, sitting on top of 4 major tectonic plates along the western edge of the Pacific Ring of Fire. So they have their own ways of dealing that are in place. But just for those who are just tuning in, viewers, this earthquake has hit Japan, and it's a 7.4 magnitude earthquake. Let's just go across to Mr. G.P. Sharma once again, the president of SkyMet, the agency that continues to track these activities. Okay, I think we've lost that connection with Mr. G.P. Sharma. We will continue to get you more details from Ground Zero. Nupur, thank you for the moment, and we will come back to you for more updates as we are closely tracking all the developments from Japan. In the meantime, we're sipping a very, very short break, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, we also bring you the latest from Nashik as far as one of the key accused, Nida Khan, is concerned. We'll get you more on that, but also the developments coming in from Japan as a tsunami warning has been issued.
13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the advanced short-range air-to-air missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes.
After this very short break, we get you every development from Japan where a tsunami warning has been issued post 7.4 magnitude earthquake hitting the country.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
यानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रूंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रूंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रूंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan.
On the tsunami warning issued in Japan.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला डिलीशियस हेल्दी एवरीडे
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
The mastermind in TCS grooming scandal case still absconding, hearing underway on the Nida Khan anticipatory bail. Exclusive visuals by Republic show IPAC office locked up after TMC denies reports calling it baseless. Five-day shutdown across Manipur over Tronglaobi bomb attack. Thousands march seeking justice for children killed in the episode. ED raids the premises of two sons of Karnataka Congress MLA N.A. Harris and some others in a cryptocurrency-linked money laundering case. Surat Crime Branch exposes a major political hawala scandal allegedly involving the Aam Aadmi Party just ahead of the local body polls in the state. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai refutes US claims, says it has no plans for the next round of talks in Islamabad. Iran says Washington will not hear a different response regarding its demand to hold uranium enrichment, accuses US of betraying diplomacy twice in negotiations. All right, friends, tension seems to be building up again in the Persian Gulf, with the United States asking Iran to surrender on its terms, even as Iran rebuffs those calls coming in directly from the President of the United States, saying that they have no level of trust in the Americans. And amidst all this, Hormuz continues to remain a blocked channel, and we, in fact, getting exclusive pictures of the present situation on the ground. These are straight from Hormuz, friends. These are straight from the Strait of Hormuz. These pictures showing the number of vessels that are stuck there, that are just parked there, cannot move, because if you move from the Persian Gulf side across the strait into the Sea of Oman, the Iranian IRGC fires at you. If you are coming from the Arabian Sea into the Sea of Oman and go into the Strait of Hormuz, then the Americans are firing at you. So whichever side you are moving, either from west to east or east to west, from the Persian Gulf to the Sea of Oman or vice versa, you are going to be fired, and that's why it's all zero movement for all these vessels. Look at these ships dotting the channel, and the numbers, about 150 major, minor oil vessels, tankers, ships is stuck in the Gulf of Hormuz. We in fact have, we are connecting with Captain Raman Kapoor. He is joining us live from right there inside the Persian Gulf. and he's stuck on one of the vessels. Very good afternoon to you, Captain Kapoor, and the viewers watching this broadcast would want to know how you are doing. Are you safe? Are you fine? Are you taken care of?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. Yes, we are currently stranded inside Persian Gulf, and we are stranded here ever since the war started. So far, we are keeping ourselves safe here, but the conditions are changing every day as we keep getting various news about the area. Yes, it is safe so far.
Okay, and when I say safe, you are fine. Are you taken care of in terms of your health and medical needs? Are you taken care of in terms of your food requirements? Are you fully, your stocks are, replenished for the time that you are stuck there? It's been how long since you are there in the Persian Gulf and not able to come out? How many days?
It's nearly 50 days we are here stranded in Persian Gulf, and we've been very lucky that way that we have sufficient stock of food, and company has been very supportive that way, and our food supplies being replenished every now and then. And recently we had the new supply a couple of days back. So we are very happy and thankful to our company that way.
Okay, and when these food supplies come, how do they come? Are they para-dropped? Are they come by a small boat and you just pick them up? And are you able to get what you exactly want, or you have to make do with Maggi noodles, etc., to manage the situation?
So far, we have not come to that point where we have to live only on Maggi noodles or something. But as I said, we have sufficient stock of food supplies. We are being supplied through a small boat which comes from nearest country. And yes, of course, there are procedures for that, especially whenever there is a supply of food supply through any boat. There is a naval ship around us patrolling day and night, and especially when any small boat is coming close to any ship, the Navy boat is in constant touch with us, and they are supervising the entire operation.
Captain Kapoor, when you say naval boat patrolling in the waters, you are on the Persian Gulf side. Which Navy is this which is taking care of the security around you as of now?
It is the neighboring country from Iraq, what we have seen till now. So it is Iraqi naval ships are there. They are patrolling and ensuring our safety.
That means you are deep inside the Persian Gulf. You are not like near the opening, near the mouth of the strait, near the Larak Island or the Kasham Island. You are deep inside, perhaps near the Kharg Island. What's your sense of security like? Do you feel safe? Do you feel that no drones or missiles are coming? There are patrolling boats around. Somebody's taking care of you. You are communicating with them.
Yes, rightly said. We are deep inside the Persian Gulf and very close to the Kharg Island. And yes, earlier there was a big concern because we have witnessed various missiles flying over our head and various explosion noises we had heard. Yes, there was a time when situation was very tense on board ship and every crew was scared. But past few days, ever since the ceasefire has been announced, the situation has been a bit relaxed, and it's a major relief for all of us. And we have not witnessed any more attacks on merchant vessel, and no more flying of missiles and drones, etc. in the region.
But you would be tracking the developments on the diplomatic front closely, Captain Kapoor, because your coming out depends on them. It seems that both Iran and the US are escalating. They are not having second round of talks, which was expected to take place in Islamabad on Tuesday. And if those talks do not happen, then we are looking at the possibility of ceasefire collapsing and the war breaking out again. Is that something which concerns you, worries you?
Yes, of course, it is a major concern at the moment. things are moving towards, escalation of war again, since the talks are not going positive from both ends. So it is a major point of concern at the moment, and we are again scared of that. We may get into that zone again where uncertainty is, killing all of us, and no one is sure what is going to happen and what is happening outside. And it is impacting our repatriation as well, because most of us have already completed our tenure on board ship. We have completed our contract, and we want to go home as our families are waiting for us.
Are you able to communicate with your families? You said you want to go back, of course, but from the present present situation that you are in, are you able to communicate to your family, your friends, your company, the government, somebody in the Indian Navy, and get an update about what's happening outside and give update about what's your situation?
Yes, we are in regular touch with our families, friends, and company, of course, on daily basis. And companies providing us all the security concerns, security notifications, or any incident happening in the area. And but we are not in touch with the government authorities, as in direct contact is not there. Although we have all the contingency numbers provided by our company. So whatever official and verified information we are getting from, it is always from our company office and through other various maritime authorities.
Okay, Captain Kapoor, before I let you go, last question, any message, any appeal you want to send across through this, through our platform to the government and to the authorities, both in the Gulf and outside, that they should be finishing off very soon, and so that you can come out?
Yes, first and foremost, as a ship captain, I would request the de-escalation, and it is very, very important for whole world at the moment that this war ends soon, and the safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz is opened. Since this is not our privilege, it is our right to transit through strait, safe sea passage. And it will definitely help in the global economy, and we are the backbone of the global trade, and we should be given the safe passage.
Right, safe passage. That's the demand coming in from our merchant Navy crews that are stuck. Speaking through Captain Raman Kapoor there on one of those stuck oil tankers. Thank you so much, Captain Kapoor, for joining us on this broadcast. Hope your ordeal ends soon and you are able to come out of the Strait of Hormuz and be back with your family. Thanks for joining us. All right. Back home, and a very significant development in Tamil Nadu connected with the elections. It seems that there is a gap of rupees 100 crores in the two affidavits that have been filed by TVK chief Thalapathy Vijay. And the reason is because he's contesting from 2 seats. And now the Madras High Court has intervened and called for response from Vijay, as show cause notice has been issued to Vijay to respond and explain this 100 crore rupees gap in the two affidavits. The petitioner, who has approached the Madras High Court, has alleged that the value of movable assets declared was rupees 224 crores in Tiruvi East affidavit, that is the affidavit filed for the Tiruvi East constituency, while in the one filed for the Perambur constituency, the second constituency from where Vijay is contesting, the value is shown as 105 crore rupees. So this gap between 224 and 105 crores, roughly about 120 crores actually, is something which the High Court of Madras wants to understand, and Vijay has been made a respondent. A show cause notice has been issued to Vijay for this discrepancy, whether it is a calculation error, whether it is an audit error, whether it is a lapse of judgment, or whether it is something which perhaps even Vijay or his team could not add up. That's the question perhaps the Madras High Court would be deliberating once a reply comes from Vijay. All right, from one breaking connected with elections in Tamil Nadu to another breaking connected with elections in Bengal. Remember, both the states go to polls on April 23rd. That's a couple of days from now. And while Tamil Nadu would finish off its elections on 23rd itself, Bengal is going to have one more phase on 29th. And ahead of that, TMC, the ruling party, there in a soup because IPAC, the Political Action Committee that's been in the news for strategizing on behalf of the Trinamool, the essential brains trust of Trinamool insofar as their political strategy is concerned. It's under the scanner of Enforcement Directorate, and now we have pictures of the IPAC being shut down and the election nerve center of TMC shut after the ED raids. In fact, IPAC has issued an email to all its employees to take a 20-day break. Whether they get paid for it is not clear, but the 20 days break is because the IPAC leadership led by Pratik Jain wants to sort out the issues connected with the probe led in the main by the Enforcement Directorate. Panic in TMC because IPAC acted as the TMC's strategy team. In fact, remember when the IPAC director Rishi Raj has been summoned. Harsha is joining us live with us for more on this from Kolkata. And all right, Harsha, coming to you. There seems to be panic in Trinamool given the fact that even Mamata Banerjee herself had gone to pick up some files last time when the ED raid happened. Now, of course, it's completely shut. What are you hearing about what exactly the ED has against IPAC which makes Trinamool so nervous?
So there's a lot of tension, Abhishek, which is already triggered in the TMC party, and there's a reason why for a private firm, continuously Mamata Banerjee is responding, and she's continuously mentioning that there is no halt to the campaign. The office is not shut, but Abhishek, right now we're outside IPAC office only. We can show you the visuals here. The doors are shut. We can see the locks which have been put up outside the office of the IPAC, which clearly shows that the news which was the news of the email which was sent by the HR of the IPAC to all the employees that they don't need to come. They will be doing work from home till 20 days of the elections. But still we see there are few people inside, Abhishek, and we believe there are few who are inside. The doors have been locked from outside, but we still can see 2 to 3 people inside the office right now. It's majorly being stated that they are the house helps which are inside. But this raises a lot of questions, Abhishek, in the Kolkata, because this office of IPAC was established in the year 2019. In 2021 also IPAC helped to strategize the election for Mamata Banerjee, but this time it's not only the false transaction and the funding through the Hawala route by the IPAC founders and co-founders, but also regarding the coal smuggling case as well. All the 3 founders, co-founders, be it Rishi Raj, Pratik Jain or Vinesh Chandel, are in question by the ED. In fact, Jain was summoned today by the ED court. Not only this, Vinesh Chandel is already in the custody, and also Rishi Raj Singh as well. And this is the office which clearly states that the news which the employees were sharing at the cost of anonymity, they stated that they don't want the name to come out, but yes, they shared the mail which was sent to them by the HR of the IPAC by stating that they need to contact the firm after 11th of May. That means 20 days from now, 20 days from yesterday, from Sunday, when exactly the news was out. Mamata Banerjee stated that IPAC is still managing the campaign for TMC and the office is not shut. It's not halted. Operations are not halted. But what we see here is that office is shut. But yes, Abhishek, this is not just the office of the IPAC. We very well know that IPAC is working very close with Abhishek Banerjee, and the office of the IPAC, one office of the IPAC is also attached to the Abhishek Banerjee's office as well. We'll try to show here as well, because this Abhishek is, you can see the lock has been put up, and this is exactly the main entrance of the IPAC. We can't go inside, but I'll ask my camera person if we can get any visuals of inside, because we very well know that there are few people, we can hear the voices who are still inside the office, but I believe there might be some back gate to this office as well. But yes, the locks have been put up and the employees are not here. The employees have been asked to work from home, and therefore we also see the mass resignation which is happening in the IPAC office.
Okay, Harsha, my question is, when you pan the camera, I could see, or you could also see some people who are inside. Who are they? Is not all the staff gone?
वो हाउसकीपिंग सिक्योरिटी और हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं यार आपस में.
लेकिन मैं ये पूछ रही हूँ, ये ताला कब लगाया आप लोगों ने?
ताला हम लोग क्यों लगाएंगे? ऑफिस क्लोज कर दिया तो ताला पड़ेगा ना. आप बारी
कब से बंद है ऑफिस?
रोज बार संडे सुबह से. हाँ.
तो अंदर कितना लोग हैं अभी?
हाँ, नहीं 8-10 हाउसकीपिंग जो काम कर रहा है, सिक्योरिटी है. अभी ऑफिस बंद है तो बंद करने का तो टाइम लगेगा ना. सब जिनिस खुला हुआ है वो बंद हो रहा है.
तो क्या एचआर ने सब एम्प्लॉय लोगों को बोला कि आने का जरूरत नहीं है, अब तो कोई नहीं आ रहा?
घर में जाके काम करेगा. 10 तारीख को आएगा सब.
लगभग कितना एम्प्लॉय लोग यहाँ पे वैसे काम करता था?
350-400 लोग काम करते हैं.
और जब संडे कल सुबह से जो बंद किया गया है, कोई कारण था, कोई आया नोटिस देने, या ऐसे ही बंद कर दिया?
नहीं, हाँ, मैनेजमेंट सोचा कि अभी बंद कर देंगे जैसे ऐसे, वो सब हो रहा है ना. किसी से हम लोग मैनेजमेंट का बात नहीं जानते.
तो आप लोग कुछ बताया गया है कि अभी ऑफिस कब खुलेगा, कब तक बंद रहेगा?
बंद है, तुम लोग सैलरी मिल जाएगा तो हम क्या करें? घरे बैठे बैठे सैलरी नहीं देंगे हम तो, हमारा कोई नहीं है.
जब से ये ऑफिस बंद हुआ है, कोई सीनियर आदमी आया यहाँ पे? जैसे आप लोग का 3 फाउंडर लोग हैं, उनमें से कोई भी आया?
मेल करके नहीं, वो सीनियर लोग तो सब दिल्ली पे गेट में जानता नहीं, दिल्ली में जाया है.
उसके अलावा कोई सीनियर व्यक्ति, कोई सीनियर एम्प्लॉय यहाँ पे आया, किसी से कोई बातचीत?
ये तो छोटा टीम है. जो टीम का टीम लीडर को बोल दिया आने का जरूरत नहीं, मेल कर दिया. अभी तो सब तो ऑनलाइन में होता है ना, मेल कर दिया आने का जरूरत नहीं. उसको करो.
दादा, संडे को बंद हुआ है, तो क्या शनिवार को कोई आया था एम्प्लॉइज वगैरह को?
हाँ,
यहाँ पे कोई सैटरडे को, शनिवार को कोई आया था यहाँ पे?
नहीं.
So we see, Abhishek, clearly this is one more back entry towards the office of the IPAC. We just now spoke to one of the security guards of the IPAC. He told us to go from here. He clearly stated that there are house helps inside, there are security people inside, and we are not allowed to shoot. The office is shut since Sunday morning. So yes, the news of the IPAC being shut since Sunday morning is the right news, is a confirmed news. Mamata Banerjee stating that the office was not shut was a blatant lie. When she was addressing to the citizens of West Bengal from the stage. She stated that the IPAC office is not shut. There's no halt to the campaign, but what we see here is that the office is shut. There are locks which are...
Okay, we had to come out of that because from Bengal we have to go to Maharashtra and Nashik, where there is a breaking news development connected with the Nashik TCS story, which is that the court has denied interim relief to Nida Khan, one of the key persons involved in the conversion syndicate working from inside the TCS campus as part of the conversion gang, the grooming gang that was operating in the office. Next hearing on the anticipatory bail is scheduled for 27th of April, so her application for anticipatory bail is not rejected. Today is 20th of April, 27th, which means 7 days from now or 8th day is when the anticipatory bail would be taken up again. But in the intervening 7 or 8 days, Nida Khan does not have protection against arrest. That was one of the main pleas of the legal team working for Nida Khan, that pending the disposal of... okay, let's listen to the lawyer of Nida Khan, what he has to say.
तुमचं म्हणणं म्हणण्याची संधी देण्यात यावी. कोर्टाने ती विनंती मान्य केलेली आहे आणि 27 एप्रिलला अंतिम युक्तिवादासाठी प्रकरण ठेवण्यात आलेलं आहे. त्याच्यात तपासी अधिकारी आणि मूळ फिर्यादी यांच्यातर्फे आम्ही मूळ फिर्यादीतर्फे जे वकीलपत्र दाखल केलेलं आहे त्यामध्ये आमचं लेखी म्हणणं मांडण्यासाठी जी जबाब मुदतीची विनंती केली होती ती मेहरबान कोर्टाने मान्य केली आहे. 27 तारखेला आमचं लेखी म्हणण्यात मांडण्यात येईल. तपासी अधिकारी यांचं देखील म्हणणं येईल, सरकारी वकिलांचं म्हणणं येईल. थोडक्यात सर्व पक्षकारांचं, फिर्यादी आणि आरोपी आणि सरकारी वकील यांचं म्हणणं मांडून त्याच्यानंतर फायनल काय जे युक्तिवाद होऊन पुढचे आदेश होतील.
27 एप्रिलपर्यंत तिला अटक होऊ शकते का काय नाही?
हो, तिला आता तरी कुठल्या प्रकारचं इंटरिम प्रोटेक्शन देण्यात आलेलं नाही आहे, त्यामुळे अरेस्ट करू शकतात. कुठल्या प्रकारचं प्रोटेक्शन देण्यात आलेलं नाही.
आता तिला अटक करू शकतात?
हो, करू शकतात.
वकिलांनी त्यांच्या सर्टिफिकेट काय सादर केलं आहे तसं की काय नाही?
कोर्टात काही नाही दस्तऐवज सादर केलेला आहे, तो युक्तिवाद केलेला आहे, पण त्या संदर्भात माझ्याकडे कुठलं कागदपत्र नसल्यामुळे आता मी काही सांगू शकत नाही. परंतु कोर्टाने आता शोकॉज नोटीस काढलेली आहे. फिर्यादी, मूळ फिर्यादी आणि तपासी अधिकारी यांचं म्हणणं ऐकूनच पुढचा काय असेल तो आदेश होण्यात येईल.
सर, हिंदी में जानना चाहेंगे आज कोर्ट में आपके पक्ष में क्या रखा आपने, क्या जी रहे हो?
ये केस में ओरिजिनल विक्टिम की तरफ से वकील पत्र आज दाखिल किया है. हमारी कोर्ट से मांग थी कि हमारा कहना जब तक कोर्ट में आता नहीं तब तक ये जामीन के ऊपर की जो सुनवाई है वो अगली तारीख कर एडजर्न की जाए. कोर्ट ने ये एक्सेप्ट किया है और हमें भी और प्रोसिक्यूशन को भी अपना जो लेखी रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट जो है वो देने के लिए परमिशन दी है. मैटर इज केप्ट नाउ ऑन 27 April 2026 फॉर द से ऑफ आयो एज वेल एज द से ऑफ द विक्टिम.
तो ये तारीख कब तक दी है सर? क्या और जो है इस दौरान निदा खान को कोई राहत मिली है इस मामले को लेकर अरेस्ट से?
नहीं, अभी तक तो फिलहाल ऑनरेबल कोर्ट ने कुछ इंटरिम प्रोटेक्शन दिया नहीं है, तो पुलिस कैन अरेस्ट.
नेक्स्ट डेट क्या दिया है सर इस पर?
नेक्स्ट डेट फॉर आर्गुमेंट एंड से इज केप्ट ऑन 27 April 2026.
Okay, done. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, that's the lawyer of Nida Khan, one of the key accused in the Nashik TCS grooming gang story. And he's saying that the next hearing for the anticipatory bail, which they applied for, is to come up on 27th of this month. But pending that, and in the intervening period, there is no interim protection against arrest to Nida Khan, which means if the cops get hold of her, they can arrest her. It's just that she's hiding. Niranjan joins me on this from the newsroom for more. Niranjan, clearly Nida Khan now on thin ice. She does not have any protection against arrest. If the police sniffs out where she is, most likely in Mumbai as it is being talked about, she can be arrested.
Abhishek, there's been a huge campaign in the last few days, and that campaign is being led by, of course, these people who are accused and arrested. And secondly, the AIMIM. The AIMIM has begun a political campaign to try and shield Nida Khan for some reason, even before the investigation gets started, ends. But even before the investigation is done, they are saying that Nida Khan was targeted, etc. You look at the TCS statement also that came in, Abhishek. There was an attempt by TCS to drag the name of Nida Khan into the statement, and they said she was not the HR but some associate level employee. But does that exonerate her? Does that give her a clean chit? Because today we have more victim accounts naming Nida Khan as one of the key characters in this religious coercion / sexual exploitation that was happening on the TCS Nashik campus. So in that sense, the lawyer, when we spoke to him, tried to sort of brazen it out, saying that she's scared, she's not going to come, go ask the police, etc. And the police, strangely also, Abhishek, not willing to go on record on role of Nida Khan. They're not speaking at all on this case. But it appears that the campaign to fight for Nida Khan may backfire because the investigation continues. She's been denied relief. There is no interim relief for her. She will have to be present in court. Right. I think that's what the lawyer said. She will have to be physically present.
Right, that's going to be a big one. There is no protection and she has to be present in the court on 27th, which means even if she manages to evade the cops till 27th, at least on that day she will have to appear in person. I think we have more information coming on this story from Nashik. We are going to be joined in by our reporters, Jatin and Anaya, and we take a quick short break, and coming up on the other side, more on the developments in the Nida Khan story from Nashik.
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
RP
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Character, the taste of success.
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA
All right, viewers, a top focus at this hour. Now we're looking at the Nashik grooming gang scandal and the accused. In fact, on your screen, the visuals are showing you that there has been no relief for Nida Khan, one of the prime accused in this case. In fact, we have a ground reporter coming up. Let's take a listen.
और आज शायद ये पॉसिबल है कि आज कुछ सबूत पेश कर सकती है पुलिस, क्योंकि उनके पास फ़ोन नहीं थे पुलिस के पास अज़हर शफी के, तो उनके फ़ोन जो हैं वो ढूंढने जा रहे थे, फ़ोन कॉल्स खंगाले जा रहे थे, डिटेल्स खंगाली जा रही थी, चैट देखे जा रहे थे। तो पॉसिबिलिटीज़ है कि आज शायद कुछ सबूत और पेश किए जाए आज, लेकिन पुलिस कस्टडी जो है एक बार फिर से मांगी जाएगी पुलिस की तरफ से। अभी फिलहाल हियरिंग के लिए उनको ले जाया गया है। शफी रजा जो कि TCS धर्मांतरण के मामले में 2 आरोपी हैं और इनकी लगातार जो है अब सुनवाई हो रही है। पुलिस कस्टडी आज फिर से पुलिस मांग सकती है, नासिक पुलिस। अभी पुलिस को ये कई ज़्यादा पॉसिबिलिटीज़ लगाई जा रही हैं कि पुलिस को ये शक था कि उनके फ़ोन में कुछ है, क्योंकि बार बार नासिक पुलिस की तरफ से कहा जा रहा है कि फ़ोन के डिटेल्स मिले हैं, मेल्स मिली हैं, चैट मिले हैं और कॉल के डिटेल्स जो है, रिकॉर्डिंग्स जो हैं वो ऐसे मिले हैं। और इसलिए जितने भी आरोपी हैं, अन्य जो आरोपी हैं वो फिलहाल MCR में हैं और जितने भी बाकी आरोपी हैं जिन पर सुनवाई चल रही है उनमें सबसे ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है फ़ोन। तो फ़ोन के लिए ही, फ़ोन के रिकॉर्ड्स देखने के लिए इनके, क्योंकि फ़ोन नहीं मिल रहे थे इसलिए इनकी कस्टडी मांगी गई थी और आज फिर से इनकी पेशी हुई है। सभी आरोपियों के नाम मैं आपको बता दूं और कौन कौन कितने दिन की कस्टडी में है ये भी आपको बता दूं, क्योंकि 9 टोटल आरोपी हैं जो कि जिन पर लगातार कार्रवाई चल रही है और उसमें से शफी और ये रजा भी हैं। दानिश के लिए आपको बता दें कि 2 मई को सुनवाई होनी है और निदा खान के लिए कोर्ट में ऑलरेडी हियरिंग चल रही है। निदा खान के लिए एंटिसिपेटरी बेल जो है दाखिल की गई थी और मेडिकल ग्राउंड्स पे एंटिसिपेटरी बेल दाखिल की गई थी। निदा खान लेकिन अभी कहाँ है उसकी कोई भी जानकारी नहीं है। उसके अलावा तौसिफ शेख जो है वो भी एक आरोपी है, आसिफ अंसारी, शाहरुख कुरैशी, तौसीफ अतर और दानिश शेख जिसके बारे में आपको बताया, अश्विनी चनानी जो कि ऑपरेशनल्स हेड हैं, AGM हैं और निदा खान जो कि एसोसिएट हैं, प्रोसेस एसोसिएट हैं और ये सभी जो हैं फिलहाल आरोपित हैं। आसिफ अंसारी भी इनके साथ ही। इन सब के लिए जो है सुनवाई कोर्ट में चल रही है। नासिक कोर्ट में फिलहाल आज शफी और रजा को लाया गया, बाकी सभी जो आरोपी हैं उनको MCR 14 दिन की।
All right, viewers, so still proceedings on in Nashik Sessions Court as the accused are now being produced before the court, and the court says there is enough evidence against Nida Khan, has not been given any relief by the Sessions Court. She is filed for an anticipatory bail which has now been denied by the Nashik Sessions Court. In fact, we're getting you visuals of these prime accused in this case. There are about 9 accused in the grooming gang scandal case at TCS. They were produced at the Sessions Court before and they're now being taken away by police. Currently, there's no relief provided to any of the accused in this case. And Nida Khan, who still remains absconding, she's the alleged mastermind, as police has called her in this case, and she still remains on the run, but court has denied any relief to her in this case. Now, the next hearing on her anticipatory bail will take place on 27th of April. And at this time, proceedings are still on, as none of the accused have been given relief by the Nashik Sessions Court, as the investigation in this grooming gang case still continues at TCS unit. But the questions now being raised about TCS, and why is TCS trying to protect Nida Khan, one of the prime accused in the case. We're getting you live visuals from outside the Nashik Sessions Court, where the proceedings were underway. The court was in fact hearing the bail pleas filed by several of the accused. And now we also have a ground report by my colleague Revati. Let's take a look.
शफी और रजा जो है उनको अभी नाशिक
All right, we'll go back to the ground report in just a short while, but right now getting you these live visuals from outside the Nashik Session Court. This is where proceedings were underway in the Nashik grooming gang scandal at TCS. Now, none of the accused have been given any relief. In fact, we also have lawyers' reaction on the judgment by court. Let's take a listen.
काय नाही पण तपास जे होतं PC ज्या मुद्द्यावर दिली होती का जे मोबाईल आहे त्याचं पासवर्ड त्याच्याकडून घेणे बाकी आहे त्यासाठी PC देण्यात आली होती 2 दिवसाची त्याप्रमाणे त्यांनी पासवर्ड सांगितलेला आहे आणि याचा जो तपासामध्ये पुढच्या गुन्ह्यामध्ये परत यांना ताब्यात घेणार आहे हो तसा अर्ज दिलेला आहे संबंधित आयोनी गुन्हा नंबर
as you have presented your side today, what exactly has happened in the court today?
First, I will correct you. I am not a prosecution process. I am appearing on behalf of the original victim. I have appeared on behalf of original victim. I have asked permission to the honorable court that time should be permitted to file our written statement. The honorable court has allowed our application. Court has given 7 days time to original victim as well as the prosecution to file their say. And whenever on 27 the written statement of the victim as well as the investigation officer is a file, both the parties should be heard.
So before 27th, is it possible that Nida Khan would be arrested?
Oh, there is a possibility because there is no interim protection given. The police can arrest.
So the medical ground which are given by her counsel, will they be held valid in the court?
See, at this stage, that's what I have asked to the court, that till date we have not received any kind of copy of application filed by them. We have just appeared today. So I am collecting the copy from the honorable court. Whatever the document they are filing or they are trying that some आप जो बोल रहे हैं ऐसा तो हमें तो अभी documents वो मिले नहीं.
Are there any more allegations rather than hurting religious sentiments from the victim's side?
No, see the FIR, there are total I think 8 FIRs have been registered throughout the Nashik, and this is the first FIR, and after the registration of this FIR, as the matter was in newspapers, all the remaining 7 victims come to the police station. So we are the first person who have put the law in the motion. So there is a possibility that there are some severe allegations in it, because FIR is lodged on 25th of March 2006, and you are from media person, you better know than us what are the investigation, how the investigation is moving on. So there are likely some more allegations likely to come forward.
As we can see that the victim's lawyer has clearly stated that it is a possibility that more allegations can come in this particular matter, as Nida Khan is primarily alleged for hurting religious sentiments, and also there are information and sources saying that Nida Khan is not just involved in hurting religious sentiments, but also she is involved in forceful conversion as well, because she used to preach about Islamic teachings, and she used to also teach women victims about how to wear a hijab, how to wear a burqa, and how to offer namaz. So now it will be important to look out on 27th of April, when the particular hearing of this matter of the anticipatory bail filed by Nida Khan's counsel, actually, what the result comes out. With video journalist Neeraj Sharma, Revati Hingwe reporting for Republic, Nashik.
All right, viewers, we're getting some more breaking developments in this case. Now, the accused Shafi and Raza both have been sent to 14 days of judicial custody after the Nashik court heard their pleas. Now, the accused both, including Shafi and Raza, have been sent to about 14 days of judicial custody. Now, remember, their last court appearance took place on 18th. And now Nashik police have obtained evidence, and according to the evidence presented by the police in this case, they both have now been sent to about 14 days of judicial custody. Now they are the prime accused involved in this case. There are charges of forced conversion against them, of sexual harassment against the Hindu women victims that was taking place inside the TCS campus. In fact, my colleague Revati continues to stay with me on this. Revati, do tell us about the latest we are picking up as far as court proceedings go in this case. Now, both Shafi and Raza have been sent to about 14 days of judicial custody, while there is no interim relief for Nida Khan.
Right, as you rightly mentioned, that Nida Khan has actually filed an anticipatory bail and she has given the medical grounds for her anticipatory bail, and the hearing for the same happened today in camera proceedings at Nashik court today, but the decision is held by the court once the prosecution or the victims have their say, as mentioned by one of the victims' counsel to the Republic. They have he has clearly said that once the say of the victim or the statement of the victims and the prosecution is recorded, then only on 27th of April the hearing of this particular matter will be again heard in the Nashik court. Until then, there is a high possibility, if police are able to track down Nida Khan, then it is highly possible that she might be arrested by the Nashik police or the SIT which is formed by the Nashik police. Over to you.
Right, of course, Revati, thanks so much for joining us on this. And viewers, now moving on to another breaking development we're getting at this hour now. In fact, after ED, CBI has now made arrest in Anil Ambani case. Two senior executives of Anil Ambani linked firms are right now in a CBI custody. Now, the first arrest, in fact, by CBI after lodging complaint in Reliance Communication case. Now, we are looking at two key executives of Anil Ambani linked firm now being taken into custody by the Central Bureau of Investigation. In fact, these two senior executives are D. Vishwanath as well as Anil Kalya. Now, they're both linked to Reliance Communication, controlled by Anil Ambani, and now they have been taken into custody by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Now, ED already has been looking into the money laundering aspect of this case, and now CBI also entering in the investigation forum and taking these two senior executives into its custody. Now, both the senior executives, including D. Vishwanath and Anil Kalya, they were involved in different roles. D. Vishwanath has served as a joint president of Reliance Communication, while the other accused was the vice president. Now, both, in fact, had been active in the functionaries of Reliance Communication, and now they have been taken into custody by the Central Bureau of Investigation. They will be, in fact, produced before the jurisdictional court, and the investigation in this case is still ongoing. Now, remember, this comes after SBI had lodged a complaint about massive loss being caused to, in fact, several of the public sector banks. And now, in this case, investigation proceeding further with two senior executives now being taken into custody by CBI. All right, my colleague Shravan Sen now joins me with more details on this. Shravan, you've been very closely tracking this story. Now, after ED, we are looking at more action by CBI, two senior executives being taken into custody. Help us understand what exactly were their roles in this massive fraud.
Well, in fact, this is the first arrest that is being made by the Central Bureau of Investigation after an FIR was registered in the Reliance Communication case. In fact, the case stems from a complaint that was filed by the State Bank of India, and they alleged that Reliance Communication had essentially taken multiple tranches of loan. In fact, they're looking at over 2,900 crore rupees. That's the wrongful loss that has been borne by the bank. Now, we are being told that two of their senior executives, the names have also now come in from the Central Bureau of Investigation. These are two senior executives of Reliance Communication linked to Anil Ambani. One happens to be D. Vishwanath and the other is Anil Kalia. They are both senior executives of Reliance Communication who have now been taken into custody. D. Vishwanath, he's the joint president of Reliance Communication, and he was essentially overall in charge of the banking operations of the group. He has now been taken into custody. As far as Anil Kalia is concerned, he was the vice president and he had basically supported D. Vishwanath, and these two were basically important functionaries of the Reliance Communication group. Now, let me just take you through some of the details that we do have in terms of the cases that have been registered. Multiple cases have been filed by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Total of about 7 cases that have been registered, but these are freshly registered cases that are being probed by the Central Bureau of Investigation, and following a report that came in from the auditors that this action has actually been taken. Why it is significant? Because for the first time that you're looking at the Central Bureau of Investigation taking a punitive action. In the past, we've had the Enforcement Directorate, which has also registered multiple cases here. They have made arrests, but this is for the first time that you have the Central Bureau of Investigation taking a significant step in this particular case.
Right, Shravan, and now we're given to understand that both these senior executives will be produced before the court. So according to you, what will be the next step in this case now?
It certainly means more trouble for Anil Ambani, because all this while, Anil Ambani has spun a narrative, and that narrative is that these are decisions that have not been taken by him, but the board of directors. It slowly appears that now the Enforcement Directorate and the Central Bureau of Investigation is working on one pattern. The pattern is that looking into the role of those who have closely worked with Anil Ambani. I'm not very sure at this point in time as to whether at all the Central Bureau of Investigation is going to make a reference of their alleged role, or for that matter, their direct links with Anil Ambani. Will that make a reference in the court? That I'll have to wait and watch and get in some more details from the CBI. But having said that, the Enforcement Directorate has largely looked into the role of those who have been on the board, and the fact that those who have been directly in touch with Anil Ambani, because Anil Ambani says that these are not decisions that have been taken by him. These are decisions that have been taken by the board to begin with. And the fact of the matter is that those who have been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, they were not even part of the company after a period of time. Having said that, both of these arguments have been countered by the Central Bureau of Investigation as well as the Enforcement Directorate, where they say that there is enough evidence to suggest that the loans that were taken, they were at the behest of Anil Ambani, and the fact that several banks, not one, multiple banks have actually given the company's loans despite weak financials was only because of the fact that there was some role that Anil Ambani had to play.
Right. So essentially Anil Ambani trying to deflect the blame, but of course the investigation now tells otherwise. Thank you, Shravan, for joining us. And now viewers, moving on to another breaking news development we're getting at this hour now. An aircraft has crashed, in fact, after hitting a tree in Ratanpahi forest in Narayanpur, Jashpur district. The crash occurred in the forest near Khushagragada village. The aircraft was just flying above 30 feet. And the accident occurred at that very moment. Now a team has been sent for the rescue operation. The cause of the crash has not been confirmed yet. Now viewers, this visual in fact on your screen is showing you the aircraft crashing very near, in fact just about 30 feet above from the ground. It was flying and it crashed near Ratanpahi forest in Khusahagada village. It is in Narayanpur. Now, at the moment, rescue operations are still on, and the damage assessment is being done if there have been any casualties caused in this accident. But at the moment, getting you visuals from the site of the crash. This is where an aircraft has, in fact, crashed in Jashpur. Now, this aircraft was flying a very low, just about 30 feet above the ground, and it hit a tree in the Ratanpahi forest in Jashpur district. And this is when it clashed. Now we're getting you visuals of the clash taking place from Jashpur. It is a breaking news development. The rescue ops are still on. We are trying to ascertain if there have been any damage caused and casualties, in fact, unfortunately, if they have taken place. But right now, getting you the live visuals of the crash that has taken place at Jashpur. This is where an aircraft was flying very low, just about 30 feet above the ground. And this is when it hit a tree, leading to the ultimate crash. In fact, the cause of the crash has not been ascertained yet. It is a breaking news development. We're still awaiting more details on this, what exactly caused the crash and right now, but we're getting you the visuals from the crash site. This is where an aircraft has crashed in Jashpur. It was flying just about 30 feet above the ground when it hit a tree, ultimately leading to the crash. Now, viewers, this crash took place in the forest near Khusara village, and the accident just occurred at the moment. We're getting you the live visuals after it hit a tree. All right, my colleague Niranjan now joins with more details on this. Niranjan, do take us through the latest. We understand this aircraft was flying very low, just about 30 feet above the ground when it hit a tree, leading to the crash.
Well, yes, we don't have the exact details of what went wrong, but from initial reports, there is also a still picture that you will see on the left of your screen that is spotted the plane flying low at low altitude. And the reason why the plane was flying low is unknown, but it appears to have hit a tree. The crash itself taking place in Kurasagada village, that's what we are hearing, that's the name of the location, was flying roughly about 30 feet above the ground. And this crash took place, when it was, flying low and hit a tree. And rescue team is at site from the latest report that's come in. Cause of the crash or why it was, flying low is something we don't have yet with us. But some reports suggesting that this may have been an air ambulance. In that case, this becomes the second air ambulance incident in the last 2 to 3 months, because you had another air ambulance incident reported, from Jharkhand a few months back. And this is the second one. So it's interesting to see. We will have to wait and watch. We don't have the full details, but we'll wait for the first report to come in of why this plane was flying low. It was flying over a hilly terrain, as you can see. It was flying low at roughly about 30 to 50 feet above the ground when it crashed into a tree. Wreckage not found. Search continues. Back to you for now.
Right, of course, Niranjan. So this is the latest we're picking up as far as Chhattisgarh aircraft crash goes. It was a private aircraft that crashed after hitting a tree in the hilly regions of Chhattisgarh. In fact, it is Jashpur where the crash has now taken place. And right now, the rescue team has been sent for the operations. But about the damage caused, those details have still not come out yet. It is a breaking news development. So we're still awaiting more details on this. All right, visuals, that's all we could pack in this edition of Live and Breaking for you. But coming up on the other side, exclusive visuals by Republic now show how the IPAC office has been locked up after TMC denied reports, calling it completely baseless. So all those developments lined up for you ahead on the other side, showing you how the IPAC Nerve Center has now been shut down in Kolkata. We get you ground reports from, in fact, the capital city. On the other side, just ahead of election, TMC's political consultancy's office now shut down in Kolkata.
The action in Bengal is heating up as back-to-back rallies being held by the top campaigners from the BJP, leaving no stone unturned to script history in the state of West Bengal. We also get you why TMC's Election Nerve Center, IPAC, has shut shop ahead of polling, just 3 days ahead of polling. We'll get you all that and much more at 6 p.m. on The Verdict this evening with me, Rakshita Mishra.
जीरा सिप असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मम्मा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than 25 kilometers away, almost double the old range. It flies at Mach 3 speed and uses a smart infrared seeker that ignores enemy flares and jamming better than before.
The US attacks and seizes Iranian-flagged ship at the Strait of Hormuz. Islamabad talks are collapsing. Iran says it is not going to participate in the second round of talks. We'll get you more on that. Also, we get you what the captain of an Indian vessel that is stranded in the Strait of Hormuz is telling Republic TV from ground. We'll get you all that and much more at Republic Global, 6:30 p.m. with me, Rakshita Mishra.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the advanced...
The action in Bengal is heating up as back-to-back rallies being held by the top campaigners from the BJP, leaving no stone unturned to script history in the state of West Bengal. We also get you why TMC's election nerve center IPAC has shut shop ahead of polling, just 3 days ahead of polling. We'll get you all that and much more at 6 p.m. on The Verdict this evening with me, Rakshita Mishra.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा, आर प्योर मसाला।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Attempt to play victim fails and no relief for TCS grooming gang mastermind in Nida Khan. Exclusive visuals by Republic show IPAC office locked up after TMC denies reports, calling it baseless. 5-day shutdown across Manipur over Throng-Alaobi bomb attack at thousands marched seeking justice for children killed in the attack. ED raids the premises of the two sons of Karnataka Congress MLA N.A. Haris and some others in a cryptocurrency-linked money laundering case. After 7.4 magnitude earthquake hits Hokkaido in Japan, tsunami warnings issued in several parts of the country. All right, viewers, we're getting some live visuals from outside the Nashik Session Court. This is where the prime accused were produced before the court, and now both Shafi and Raza have been sent to 14 days of judicial custody, while another prime accused, Nida Khan, has not been granted any relief by the Nashik Sessions Court. In fact, her anticipatory bail plea has now been rejected by the court, and this is the latest. We are picking up the live visuals breaking on Republic outside the Nashik Sessions Court. In fact, we also have Nida Khan's lawyer's reaction on the judgment given by the court. Let's take a listen.
इनके ऊपर की जो सुनवाई है वो अगली तारीख कर एडजर्न की जाए। कोर्ट ने ये एक्सेप्ट किया है और हमें भी और प्रोसिक्यूशन को भी अपना जो लेखी रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट जो है वो देने के लिए परमिशन दी है। मैटर इज केप्ट नाउ ऑन 27th of April 2026 for the say of IO as well as the say of the victim.
तो ये तारीख कब तक दी है सर? क्या और जो है इस दौरान निदा खान को कोई राहत मिली है इस मामले को लेकर अरेस्ट से?
नहीं, अभी तक तो फिलहाल ऑनरेबल कोर्ट ने कुछ इंटरिम प्रोटेक्शन दिया नहीं है, तो पुलिस कैन अरेस्ट।
नेक्स्ट डेट क्या दिया है सर इस पर?
नेक्स्ट डेट फॉर आर्गुमेंट एंड से इज केप्ट ऑन 27th of April 2026। जामीन के ऊपर की जो सुनवाई है वो अगली तारीख कर एडजर्न की जाए। कोर्ट ने ये एक्सेप्ट किया है और हमें भी और प्रोसिक्यूशन को भी अपना जो लेखी रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट जो है वो देने के लिए परमिशन दी है। मैटर इज केप्ट नाउ ऑन 27th of April 2026 फॉर द से ऑफ IO एज वेल एज द से ऑफ द विक्टिम।
तो ये तारीख कब तक दी है सर? क्या और जो है इस दौरान निदा खान को कोई राहत मिली है इस मामले को लेकर अरेस्ट से?
नहीं, अभी तक तो फिलहाल ऑनरेबल कोर्ट ने कुछ इंटरिम प्रोटेक्शन दिया नहीं है, तो पुलिस कैन अरेस्ट।
नेक्स्ट डेट क्या दिया है सर इस पर?
नेक्स्ट डेट फॉर आर्गुमेंट एंड से इज केप्ट ऑन 27th of April 2026।
Well, there's been a massive development in the TCS Nashik grooming scandal case, as the court has basically denied interim relief to Nida Khan, and the next hearing on the anticipatory bail is scheduled for 27th of April. Meanwhile, Nashik Police SIT has dubbed Nida Khan as the mastermind as far as this case goes. Let me go across to my colleague Revati, who's joining us on this broadcast. Revati, a short while back, during the argument, the police has dubbed Nida Khan as the mastermind. Is there any further evidence that the police has provided before the court?
Right, as you rightly mentioned, that Nida Khan has been dubbed by the police as the mastermind of this particular matter. But as of now, there are no evidences which are being produced before the court right now, and no one is revealed this particular matter because this matter is currently on hold because, as you rightly mentioned, that on 27th of April, this particular matter will be again heard after the statements of the victims and the public prosecution are recorded. And on 27th of April, this particular matter of the anticipatory bail of Nida Khan will be heard at the Nashik court. So it will be important to see that what order is given by the court. Also, the most important thing here is that there are atrocity acts also added to this particular case where Nida Khan's name has come to the light. Also, here importantly, that the girl who was sexually assaulted or the religious sentiments were hurt, she belongs to SC community is what the FIR says. So now it will be important to see that whether on medical grounds is she granted an anticipatory bail or the anticipatory bail is rejected by the court. In the meanwhile time, Milind Kurkute, who is the counsel of one of the victims, has said that it is possible that police might arrest her before, if at all they are successful in tracking down Nida Khan, it is possible that police can, according to the law, arrest her before 27th of April. Over to you.
Well, Revati, I'll request you to stay on with us. I'm just going to play out that sequence with Nida Khan's lawyer. There is no answer as to where exactly is Nida Khan. And if at all, as she claims that she has no link to do whatsoever with this particular case, why is it that she hasn't cooperated with the investigation? Now, these are some questions that were asked to the lawyer. This is how he responded.
जी मैं बस ये समझना चाह रहा हूँ कि नहीं मैं ये निदा खान को लेकर कहाँ है वो अभी कोर्ट के सामने क्या पेश हुई आप लोगों ने उसको डिफेंड किया कुछ
मैंने कोर्ट के सामने मुद्दे रखे बोला ना आपको मैंने वो कहा है मुझे नहीं मालूम
तो आपके टच में तो रहे होंगे या उनकी तरफ से किसने आप लोगों को अप्रोच किया
सब मेरे टच में उनके परिवार वाले हैं वो कहा है मुझे पता नहीं
पुलिस तो लगातार कह रही है कि वो फरार है 3 टीम सेटअप की गई है मल्टीपल जगह रेड्स की जा रही हैं
तो आप पुलिस से पूछ लो कहा है उन्हें पता होगा
अभी कोर्ट में क्या कुछ रहा सर कोर्ट ने कुछ रिलीफ दिया या अभी क्या कुछ
दोपहर के बाद समझेगा
कुछ फोटोज भी पुलिस के सरकारी वकील की तरफ से उसमें दिखाई गई हैं कि पिकनिक के समय की ये तस्वीरें हैं
मैंने दिखाई है वो
हाँ जी
कि देयर वाज अ वेरी फ्रेंडली एटमॉस्फेयर इन द ऑफिस इवन दे हैड गॉन टू इमेजिका इस मामले में
लेकिन इस तरीके के सर एलिगेशंस लग रहे हैं उस एलिगेशंस को लेकर आप लोगों को नहीं लगता कि निदा खान को पेश होना चाहिए सामने आना चाहिए अगर एलिगेशंस लग रहे हैं तो सर सामने आने में क्या समस्या अगर उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया तो सामने आके बताएं कि मेरा पक्ष ये है
वो उसका पक्ष रखना चाहती है लेकिन उसको अरेस्ट का डर है
तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन ज्वाइन क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं सर सवाल तो ये भी खड़ा होता है ना कि आप
इन्वेस्टिगेशन ज्वाइन करने के लिए अरेस्ट नहीं किया जाएगा ऐसा एश्योरेंस कोई देगा क्या whether police is ready to give the assurance that if she is coming for cooperation or for interrogation, they won't arrest her.
लेकिन लड़कियों के तो एलिगेशंस बहुत सारे हैं कि दानिश के साथ मिलकर पूरी कॉन्स्पिरेसी रची ऐसा पुलिस स्टेटमेंट में भी है और तमाम चीज़ें बता रही हैं
सर कायदा ये बोलता है कि एलिगेशंस कोई भी कुछ कर सकता है एलिगेशंस है इसका मतलब वो सच नहीं है उसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है
उसीलिए तो सामने आना पड़ेगा ना
तो सामने आने के लिए प्रोटेक्शन चाहिए मैं आपको यही समझा रहा हूँ
अगर प्रोटेक्शन नहीं मिलेगी तो क्या इन्वेस्टिगेशन ज्वाइन नहीं करेंगे
प्रोटेक्शन नहीं मिली तो वो उसकी मर्जी अगले कोर्ट में जाना नहीं जाना वो ठहराएगी
Well, shift focus now to the state of West Bengal, where there is a massive showdown over IPAC, a political consultancy firm employed by the Trinamool Congress, has shut down their operations in Bengal. In fact, it turns out that there is an email that has been sent to IPAC employees. IPAC, which happens to be the nerve center, has now been locked up in Kolkata. In fact, on your screens right now, these are the images that we've got from IPAC's offices, which clearly goes on to indicate that they have stopped their operations, contrary to the claim that has been made by the Trinamool Congress that their operations are still on. Some reports essentially suggesting that ground workers of IPAC are still operating in the state of West Bengal. But is this a side of nervousness? Is this a response to the investigation that is being carried out by the Enforcement Directorate, with multiple cases that have been lodged by the Enforcement Directorate as well as the Delhi Police? In fact, IPAC's director, Rishi Raj, was summoned by the Enforcement Directorate earlier today. We are now being told that he hasn't appeared before the agency and has sought for more time. No clarity really coming in from the agency with regards to whether at all new summons will be sent out. But clearly, with these images now coming across, in fact, our reporters on the ground did actually visit the IPAC office, spoke to a few officials who were present there. In fact, this is a report that has been filed by my colleague Harsha.
Right now I'm reporting from the IPAC office of the Kolkata, and this office was established in the year 2019 when Prashant Kishore was heading the election campaign strategy for TMC in the year 2021. But what we see here is that the office of the IPAC is shut down. The locks have been put up in the main office of the IPAC. And let me tell all to our viewers that this is not just the office of the IPAC. IPAC operates from different other regions in West Bengal as well. One of the IPAC office is also attached with the office of the Abhishek Banerjee and in the Trinamool Party headquarters in Kolkata as well. But this is the nerve office of the IPAC, which we clearly call it the election strategy office, where almost 400 to 500 people work on a daily basis. But what we got to know after speaking to security guard is that they were informed on Sunday morning, the employees were informed not to come to the office, and that's the reason right now we see that the office is shut and the employees are not arriving, not reaching here. They were stated that they need to do work from home. The HR of the IPAC informed via mail to the employees that till the 20 days after, like after 11th May, they need to get in touch with IPAC firm that whether and how the work will proceed. But right now they are doing work from home. But let me show you the visuals. It's the entire IPAC office here in the Kolkata in Newtown area, and this shows the visuals as we clearly see Mamata Banerjee when she spoke about it on Sunday. She addressed, and it's being stated that there was a blatant lie on the face of the citizens of West Bengal when she stated that there's no halt in the campaign and the news of the shutting of the IPAC office is baseless, and it is also to disrupt the campaign. But what we see here is that the office is shut, the locks have been put up, and this is the visuals from the IPAC nerve office of Kolkata, where we see that how all the founders and co-founders, Pratik Jain, Vinesh Randel and Rishi Raj, are already in the custody of Enforcement Directorate in connection with the coal smuggling case and also in connection with the Hawala transactions. They are being questioned, and also this comes after the deep investigation by the Enforcement Directorate after January 8 raid. What we see here is that IPAC office is now closed after Suvendu Adhikari also stated that the fake media ID cards are being given to the IPAC employees to go to the major region where polling will take place to disrupt and create the unrest for the election. But this is the IPAC office, and inside there are the house help and security guard. But for now, this office is shut. The guard clearly tells us that more than 300 to 400 employees work here, but now they are not coming. They have been told by the HR to not come to the office. I'm joined in by Smriti Irani as the elections in West Bengal turns high octane and the temperature is really boiling. We're joined by Ms. Irani. Ms. Irani, how do you see this election going? Because now Mamata Banerjee is responding on everything, be it the viral video of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, be it responding on the Women Reservation Bill, which got defeated because of India Alliance, be it the IPAC office getting shut or the ED raids happening on the Deputy Police Commissioner. How do you see this overall reaction of Mamata Banerjee coming out?
Flummoxed. If a private company is breaking the law, why is a statement of support being given by the Chief Minister of West Bengal? If a private company has done any illegality, shouldn't the Chief Minister of West Bengal, who's supposed to be the harbinger of law and order and supposed to ensure that no illegality is conducted or committed, shouldn't she stand by the virtues of law? Why is she standing with an organization that is right now being investigated for misdeeds?
One thing, Ms. Rani, how do you see this? Do you really see this, that entire TMC is furious? They are getting too desperate now, responding on BJP on each and everything.
The question is not that they are furious. The question is, are they caught? Today, when you go to the electorate or the voter of West Bengal, they are asking very rudimentary questions. That between 2014 to 2026, if the BJP central government has given close to 7 lakh crores plus for development of West Bengal, what is the hisab of that? Today, if the BJP-led government at the centre between 2014 and 2026 has ensured over 3 lakh crore rupees flows to the state of West Bengal as grants in nays, where is that money? Why is the TMC, which is known for cut money rather than development today, absolutely furious? That's because anywhere they go, this is how the people are responding to them. They are known for cut money, they are known for crime, and that is why I see that the Trinamool Congress now is raging that they are caught.
So 20 days before election, the election strategy campaign office shutting down all the owners, co-founders in the ED custody, and Mamata Banerjee responding, there's nothing wrong, everything is working, there's nothing on hold. We see the office shut down. Employees are doing mass resignation.
It is interesting that for a private company, a political party is giving statements. Why? If a private company has done an illegality, have you ever seen a political organization stand by such a private company unless they have some roots or which are intertwined, some relationships within that political structure?
Mr. Abhishek Banerjee is opening, challenging Home Minister, saying that if they have, if they have courage, I challenge them to stay in West Bengal after 4th of May. How do you see this statement coming up?
Your country as much as mine. We don't need anybody's permission to come, go, stay in West Bengal. But I think that it is true reflection of the character of TMC that they today are so immersed in Gunda Raj that they will not shy away from trying and threatening the Home Minister of India. This is an organized crime political setup which held judges hostage in Malda. This is an organization that insulted the Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces, that being the President of India. Do you think they have any respect for any constitutional office or individual who has such a constitutional position?
Well, in fact, let me also shift focus now to the other story that we're getting in from the state of Manipur, where Manipur protesters have erupted in anger after the killing of 5 in a rocket attack. Security forces on Sunday night used tear gas as well as smoke bombs and also hand grenades to disperse the crowd. Now, what we are given to understand is that the Mirapai-based rallies which have been carried out in the last few days have been infiltrated by several antisocial elements. So far, while no major crackdown has happened, there is a larger story that is basically emerging after the protesters were basically demanding justice for a 5-year-old boy and his 5-month-old sister who were killed in an attack that was carried out on 7th of April. In fact, the Chief Minister has made an assurance that all possible help will be extended and proper investigation will be carried out. This is a detailed report filed by my colleague Lin Thoy and Johnson.
We are suffering for 3 years. Our youth life has lost. हमारा जो youth का life है, हमारा student का life है, सब बर्बाद हो चुका है.
Hojikuki bo mama yum da tasele. Mulang hida.
Today's rally it's about the recent incident of killing 2 minors and killing of unarmed civilians in Gelmol, and also yesterday it was attack ambush in Litan also. We condemn that killing also. That's why for peace rally we are marching this towards Khabar meeting.
Here in this protest we are demanding to make justice of the brutal killing of the innocent children and innocent people.
Well, in fact, India has now raised serious concerns over the recent attack on its ship in international waters. Speaking from Colombo, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said that New Delhi has taken up the matter with Iranian authorities, stressing the need to ensure the safety of mariners and uphold the principle of free navigation. He essentially highlighted the wider impact of the West Asia conflict on energy supplies and regional security, while also flagging concerns for nearly 10 million Indians living in the Gulf. Listen to what the Foreign Secretary had to say.
India has conveyed its strong concern to Iranian authorities after Indian-linked ships came under attack in international waters. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said New Delhi is deeply disturbed and has urged all sides to ensure the safety of seafarers and uphold the principle of free and open maritime passage. The government has emphasized that international waters must remain secure for uninterrupted global trade, including crucial energy supplies.
We have also maintained very, very clearly that international waterways must remain free and open for unimpeded passage of shipping of all kinds, whether it is energy-related trade or other kinds of commerce.
India also flagged the broader impact of the ongoing West Asia conflict, particularly on energy availability and regional stability. With nearly 10 million Indians living and working in the Gulf region, New Delhi has expressed its concern over the safety and security of its diaspora. Misri reiterated India's consistent stand, calling for respect for sovereignty, restraint and resolution of conflicts through dialogue and diplomacy. India has also pushed for immediate de-escalation and stressed that civilians and civilian infrastructure must not be targeted.
The sovereignty and territorial integrity of all countries must be respected, and that if there are any issues, they ought to be resolved through dialogue and diplomacy. We have asked for de-escalation to be prioritized, for the safety of civilians to be prioritized, for civilian targets, for civilian areas and establishments not to be targeted.
Highlighting the human costs, the Foreign Secretary noted that India has already lost sailors in such attacks, with casualties reported and one person still missing. The government has made it clear that ensuring the safety of maritime shipping and Indian seafarers remain a top priority amid rising tensions in the region. India continues to closely monitor the situation, even as concerns grow over the fallout of the escalating conflict in West Asia.
A French peacekeeper was killed in southern Lebanon, was repatriated to France on Sunday following a deadly attack on a United Nations patrol. This is an incident that has basically heightened tensions in the region. In fact, a matter that was basically raised by the French president too.
A French UN peacekeeper was killed in southern Lebanon in a patrolling incident in the war-torn region. Staff Sergeant Florian Montario was serving with the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon and was fatally wounded when a patrol came under small arms fire. According to UNIFIL, the attack also left 3 other peacekeepers injured, 2 of them seriously. Montario later succumbed to his wounds.
We have lost a soldier, but more than that, we have lost a man. We have lost Florian, who chose to stand for something greater than himself's duty, courage and peace.
A repatriation ceremony was held at Beirut's International Airport, attended by senior UN officials, French diplomatic representatives, and members of the Lebanese military.
5-day shutdown across several districts in Manipur after the 7th of April attack, where thousands are out on the streets seeking justice for children who have been killed in the attack. No arrests that have been made so far.
30 p.m. we revealed the grave testimonies of Hindu women victims in corporate jihad case at TCS, and we also question why is TCS trying to shield the alleged mastermind Nida Khan, who remains on the run. All that and more lined up in our super primetime show at 7:30 p.m. with me, Ishita Mitra.
Join International Institute of Hotel Management. Call 983-10-50,000.
थोड़े में ज़्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मम्मा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरी राजा। सबका राजा आरती और मसाला।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than 25 kilometers away, almost double the old range. It flies at Mach 3 speed and uses a smart infrared seeker that ignores enemy flares and jamming better than before. The Indian Air Force flies more than 55 of these MiG-29 UPG jets in frontline squadrons. These planes guard the northern and western borders day and night. Earlier upgrades added new radars, engines, and
as US attacks and seizes Iranian-flagged ship at the Strait of Hormuz, Islamabad talks are collapsing. Iran says it is not going to participate in the second round of talks. We'll get you more on that. Also, we get you what the captain of an Indian vessel that is stranded in the Strait of Hormuz is telling Republic TV from ground. We'll get you all that and much more at Republic Global, 6:30 p.m. with me, Rakshita Mishra.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the advanced short-range air-to-air missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaced...
Tonight at 7:30 p.m. we reveal the grave testimonies of Hindu women victims in corporate jihad case at TCS, and we also question why is TCS trying to shield the alleged mastermind Nida Khan, who remains on the run. All that and more lined up in our super primetime show at 7:30 p.m. with me, Ishita Mitra.
Welcome back, friends. Trouble seems to be mounting for one of the key accused in the Nashik grooming gang case, with a local court in there refusing anticipatory bail, interim relief in the anticipatory bail plea of Nida Khan. That's going to be our focus. Let's begin with the headlines. Attempt to play victim fails, no relief for TCS grooming gang mastermind Nida Khan. Exclusive visuals by Republic show IPAC office locked after TMC denied reports calling it baseless. 5-day shutdown across Manipur over Tronglabi bombing. Thousands march seek justice for children killed in the attack. ED raids the premises of the two sons of Karnataka Congress MLA N.A. Harris and some others in a cryptocurrency-linked money laundering case. After 7.5 magnitude earthquake hits Hokkaido in Japan, tsunami warnings issued in several areas of the Pacific country. Over the past few days, nightly Meera Paibi rallies are taking place in various areas of Imphal. During several of these occasions, many antisocial elements under the guise of protesters have engaged in violent activities. These include the use of petrol bombs, catapults fitted with iron projectiles, and stone pelting directed at security forces. It has also been observed that many protesters are under the influence of liquor or intoxicants. These are pictures of protests being carried out by Meera Paibis, the women's protesters group of Manipur. And despite these provocations that I was mentioning, security forces have exercised maximum restraint, is what the report suggests. An appeal is also being made to all law-abiding citizens by the security forces of the law enforcement agencies to maintain peace, calm and harmony, and to refrain from violence. We are going to have, all right, we have Lintoy and Johnson joining us live from Imphal for more on this. Lintoy, coming to you first. It seems that these protests are snowballing. We have pictures on air of the nighttime protests. We have seen pictures of daytime protests. We have seen a blockade of Imphal by the Mera Paibis. What's the latest you can share? Is calm prevailing, and are talks going on between the protesters and the government?
Right. The situation in Imphal area is it's very tense, and talks have been, government has appealed to the Mera Paibis and the youth in Imphal Valley to refrain from any violent activities during the peace rally. However, what happened is in the daylight, Mera Paibis will stage a protest. And while in the night time, in the evening, Mera Paibis will go for a protest rally holding a torch. So during that protest, many youths started stone pelting to the security forces out of their disappointment and out of their, because of their sentiment towards the killing of 2 innocent children. So
Are these youth also mighties? Are they also demanding the same thing that the Mera Paibis are, just that they are getting violent while the women are peaceful protesters?
Yeah, they are demanding the same thing, but what happened is that out of frustration and disappointment, they started attacking and targeting the security forces and demanded to initiate, to launch a military crackdown on the Kuki-dominated areas, on the Kuki terrorists. This is what they term it as. And also, following these incidents, Tangkhul Naga, Meitei Pangal, and Meitei also, and other tribal community also staged a protest at Imphal Interstate Bus Terminal, demanding justice for the civilians killed by the Kuki militants. And also protesters also condemn attacks on both Meitei and Tangkhul communities. And they also demanded the government of India to stop the proxy war, and also raise various slogans, including demanding for justice, and then demanding for a military crackdown. So these are the slogans that was raised by the raised during the protest rally.
Lintoy, you said a very interesting thing, which is that apart from the Maitis, the Tangkhul Nagas and the Pangals are also, Mighty Pangals are joining these protests. Are they also demanding the same thing, that action should be taken against the Kuki militants and government should be doing something about this menace?
Yeah. So they all demanded the same. They are demanding to stop the proxy war and to initiate to launch a military crackdown on this terrorism act. And what happened is that same incident attack is going on in Ukhrul district, where Kuki militants targeted the Tangkhul community. In that attack, 2 lives were claimed in that attack. They are traveling from Imphal to Ukhrul. So that was like the subsequent day. That was the next day after the CM outreach of peace. So on that day, two lives were claimed, and approximately 5 vehicles were damaged, and 2 were seriously injured in that attack. So the Chief Minister Yumnam Khemchan has already announced that the roads were almost free. We're all free to for movement and all, but the public are afraid to cross the area. So after hearing that, the Tangkhul community started moving towards the Ukhrul. So this is the claim made up by the Tangkul community. Back to you.
All right, Lintoy, stay with us. Let me take this to Johnson to understand what the government is doing in response to these protests. The ex gratia that the government had offered, Johnson, to the family of the 2 children who were killed in the Kuki attack, they have refused that ex gratia, and the government now seems to be under pressure with all these protests snowballing. What are you hearing from your sources in the Y. Khemchand Singh government about how they intend to tackle this round of protests that are panning out in Imphal?
Yes, Abhishek. This is one of the very major issues that is right now happening in Manipur. Recently, in Manipur, various incidents have happened, killing of minor child and all. But recently, on April 7, at Tonglaubi, under Bishanpur district, 2 children, including 1 infant, was killed by the bomb attack, which was alleged to be done by the armed Kuki miscreants. So, the JSC formed, in connection with the killing of these 2 incidents, already have a series of talks with the government of Manipur. Series of talk was conducted. Series of talk was done in the Chief Minister Secretariat. The Chief Minister, along with the JSC, had already agreed with the various of charters of demand submitted by the JSC to the Manipur regarding the incident that happened in Tonglaubi. But unfortunately, even from the government side, the government have offered the father and the mother of the 2 deceased children. They have offered extra. They have given extra offer to the father and the mother of the 2 deceased children. But unfortunately, the father of the victim of the 2 deceased child is not willing to take any offer. His statement is still clear that he will not take the dead body of his 2 children, and already he have also already announced that this incident, the two dead children, his 2 dead children, have been already handed over to the public. And yes, in this connection with the killing of this incident, even after the JSC have already declared that there has been a series of talks and the agreement was done between the government. On the next day itself, JSC made a clear statement that the declaration was done mistakenly, and so there is sort of misunderstanding between the government and the JSC, and yes, the agreement was not fulfilled from the JSC side. As a result, total shutdown for 5 days was imposed in all the districts. It is a statewide shutdown, and not only this, Abhishek. In Ukhrul district, the killing of these 2 civilians, Tangkul civilians, including 1 ex-serviceman of the Indian Army. The various civil society organizations of the Ukhrul district of the Tangkul Naga community have held a series of meetings in the Ukhrul town, and also they have submitted a charter of the government itself. So right now, Manipur is still burning. Manipur is burning right now. I am in the Imphal, in the heart of the Imphal city. Right there is in my background, we can see the Kangla Gate. So the thing is, Manipur government is right now trying its best level to tackle the situation. Even Manipur government have offered extra opportunity to the deceased family, to the victim family, and also to whosoever concerned, so that the tension in Manipur can be relaxed to maximum, and peace be brought to Manipur, long-lasting peace to be brought in Manipur. Manipur government is trying its best, but since the tension is being in Manipur beginning from 3rd May of 2023, the people of Manipur, both Hill and the Valley district, are very sad. They are not fulfilled by the activity of the government. Right now, even though the government is trying its best level, the public of Manipur is still at tense and waiting for more swift action like military crackdown to those armed miscreants. Back to you, Abhishek. Okay,
Johnson, thank you so much for that update. I want one more question from Lintoy before we let you go both. Lintoy, this is a 5 or 7 day blockade that has been announced by the protesters. We know from history how these kind of blockades, insofar as Imphal Valley is concerned, Manipur is concerned, can go on for not just days or weeks, but sometimes months. You think the government is prepared if the blockade extends and the government really fails to meet the demands of the protesters?
Yeah, Abhishek. Once the blockade started in Manipur, like even if they set a deadline for 7 days, the blockade in Manipur still continues. So, for the government preparation, the CM Y. Khemsan has recently said that the government has accepted all the demands raised by the JAC and has even assured a job for the father of the two deceased children, something that wasn't part of the original demands. That was his statement. So he said that despite these steps, the continuation of the protest really is difficult to understand. This is what he meant. But however, according to the statement of the father, he said that nothing will compensate for his children's lives until the culprits are arrested and punished in full public view. So it is up to the government whether the government will act according to the father's statement or will the government will come up with another plan again according to along with another offer. This is up to the government, but as of now there is no plan for the government to contain this situation as of now. Back to you, Abhishek.
So the best plan, of course, would be to nab the culprits in the soonest possible time, and then the protests would end. Thank you so much, Lintoy and Johnson, joining us from Imphal for the latest on the Manipur situation. Remains tense, protesters still sitting at the squares. And we move out of Manipur to another breaking news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. And this is on the two US nationals who were held last evening from the Srinagar airport for possessing what seemed like a sat phone. Later it transpired that it was not a sat phone but a tracker device, which typically mountain trackers use so that in case they get stuck in bad weather or an avalanche, they can be traced or their bodies can be traced. This is American national Jeffrey Scott Prather. He was detained and questioned by a multi-agency team at the Srinagar airport itself last evening. Subsequently, he's been sent to Delhi, and now we are getting this information that the two American nationals are going to be deported back to the United States. So we have Zeenat joining us live for more on this. Zeenat, what can you share? What are the whereabouts of these two American nationals? Have they got all clear from the security agencies insofar as possessing the sat phone is concerned, and what happens next?
They have given the details to the investigating agencies that they are the travelers who had come to Kashmir Valley. They were in the valley for around 3 days, and in all these 3 days, they have visited Srinagar's most of the parts, and then they visited the central Kashmir's Sonmarg, which is again a tourist destination, which is witnessing also a snowfall these days. And then they were planning also to go to Ladakh, but due to the closure of the highway, they could not take their travel. As far as the investigation goes, there is an FIR that has been registered in the Hamhama police station as far as they carrying the satellite phone, which is prohibited in places like Kashmir, where you have the defense airport, and it is guided by the Indian Telegraph Act and other, because whenever a foreign traveler comes with such kind of devices, then he has to seek a clearance from the authorities whether he would be able to travel with the devices or not. Meanwhile, they were questioned for around 5 to 6 hours yesterday, and late evening they were asked to, they were allowed to go back. And in Srinagar, they were staying in a hotel for a night, and around 1 o'clock they boarded the aircraft from Srinagar airport for Delhi. This is what we have, that is what was confirmed to security forces. So they were asked to produce some of the documents and also the phones of the two gentlemen who are one of them is a US national and another has also got the citizenship, though his origin is from the Kolkata, but now he is settled in the United States. His phone charter was also checked by the security forces. Now the further proceedings will follow, because as far as the cases are concerned, that legal teams are investigating and other things will be followed as per the law of the land. But yesterday they were deported when an CISF officer noticed equipment in the handbag, and he alerted the security forces. The Badgaam police was seen in action. Similarly, the cargo and also the other IB and other people were involved in the questioning, which go around for 5 to 6 hours. But in the evening, they were asked to return to their hotels. But in the morning, since morning, there were a lot of people who were keeping an eye on the movement of these two nationals, whether they'll be meeting some more people. Is there any kind of chain that they are following? Are there more people who are in touch with them? So the investigating agencies, be it the CID or the IB, have already placed their data as well as their diaries before their own heads, and the investigation will go as per the law of land. Because see, Abhishek, we have seen the second case in less than 6 months in the Kashmir Valley itself, because in December itself, 2025, a Chinese national who actually was a student of a US university were also found. His security forces were able to find his footprints in the defense installations, and the charter also showed he has taken the pictures in the Zanskar when his travel visa was not for visiting Ladakh or coming to Kashmir, but that time he had told the same police, the Badgaam police, again there also the same FIR was registered, which was registered in the case of these two gentlemen. There the Chinese citizen revealed that he had no idea that he requires a visa for this place, and so many other concocted stories were placed by the gentleman. But again, the legal procedures was followed for that Chinese citizen who was some 29-year-old, and then after remaining in custody for 2 days around, he was let go, because in these cases, the arrest is not being done. Usually the security forces detain them for the questioning. Then they are asked to return to their hotels or to the places where they stayed, and then they are asked again to report to the police station. Today, even when he was leaving, before boarding the flight, he had to inform the local police that he is leaving. And there was a proper eye of the investigating agencies as far as the travel of these US national goes. So they boarded somewhere around 1 o'clock for Delhi.
Right, left for Delhi, and security agencies have done their background checks, taken other details, not sat phone but trackers with them, but still the possibility of dual use, and hence the scrutiny. Thank you so much, Zeenat, for joining us with that update. The two US nationals, of course, to be deported. Moving on from Kashmir to Maharashtra, where a huge development took place in the TCS grooming gang case of Nashik, where the anticipatory bail plea of one of the key accused, Nida Khan, came up for hearing. The court has kept the next date for April 27, but has not given her any protection from arrest. No interim relief for Nida Khan. We in fact have spoken to the lawyer who represented her, as also one of the victim families. Let's listen to them.
I have asked permission to the Honorable Court that time should be permitted to file our written statement. The Honorable Court has allowed our application. Court has given 7 days time to original victim as well as the prosecution to file their say. And whenever on 27 the written statement of the victim as well as the investigation officer is a file, both the parties should be heard.
So before 27th, is it possible that Nida Khan would be arrested?
Oh, there is a possibility because there is no interim protection given. The police can arrest.
So the medical ground which are given by her counsel, will they be held valid in the court?
See, at this stage, that's what I have asked to the court, that till date we have not received any kind of copy of application filed by them. We have just appeared today. So I am collecting the copy from the Honorable Court. Whatever the document they are filing, or they are trying that some आप जो बोल रहे हैं ऐसा, तो हमें तो अभी documents वो मिले नहीं.
Are there any more allegations rather than hurting religious sentiments from the victim's side?
No, see, the FIR, there are total, I think 8 FIRs have been registered throughout the Nashik. And this is the first FIR. And after the registration of this FIR, as the matter was in newspapers, all the remaining 7 victims come to the police station. So we are the first person who have put the law in the motion. So there is a possibility that there are some severe allegations in it, because FIR is lodged on 25th of March 2006, and you are from media person, you better know than us what are the investigation, how the investigation is moving on. So there are likely some more allegations likely to come forward.
Today, Nida Khan's advocate argued the bail application, anticipatory bail application. He thoroughly argued, but myself, I remain present on behalf of SIT, and I argued that as a matter is a very serious nature and very sensitive, and it is related to women's जो mental and sexual harassment का है, और many other 9 offences also has been registered against the similar type of जो offences register हुए हैं, and all the offences are under investigation by SIT. So ये जो ऑफेंस है उसमें एट्रोसिटी एक्ट भी एप्लीकेबल हुआ है, तो ऑनरेबल कोर्ट ने ये केस की जो विक्टिम है उसका से कॉल करना और इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग ऑफिसर का जो से है वो भी कंसीडर करना इम्पोर्टेंट है. तो हम लोगों ने रिक्वेस्ट किया कि हमारा से प्लीज़ लेने के बाद और सरकार पक्ष की जो बात है वो सुनने के बाद ही कोई आदेश पारित करे. तो ऑनरेबल कोर्ट ने हमारा रिक्वेस्ट कंसीडर करके आगे की जो सुनवाई है वो 27 तारीख को रख दिया है.
So in this time period, is it possible that there can be an arrest made of Nida Khan?
That नहीं वो नहीं.
Because no, according to the law, is it possible that if the hearing is on 27, is it possible according to the law? I am asking.
हाँ, 27 को तो compulsory है ना. We have to. When we
before that, is it
undertaking, then we have to submit the say.
All right. We also confronted a team of Republic, also confronted 2 of the accused, Shafi and Raza, who were brought to the court for their judicial custody hearing.
सर कुछ कहिएगा, आपने तो आरोप लग रहे हैं सर अब तो कुछ कहिए. सर काफी जिन्होंने आरोप आप पे लगे हैं, सर कुछ एक स्टेटमेंट देंगे आप. शोषण किया है आपने लड़कियों का. सर कुछ कहिएगा, आपने तो आरोप लग रहे हैं सर अब तो कुछ कहिए. सर काफी जिन्होंने आरोप आप पे लगे हैं, सर कुछ एक स्टेटमेंट देंगे आप. शोषण किया है आपने लड़कियों का.
Okay, one diplomatic development that can have Pakistan eat crow or have egg on its face. It's been forced to halt a defense deal that it was signing with Sudan, and that's because the Saudis don't like it, and the Saudis are forcing Pakistan to block this arms deal, a $1.5 billion deal. Sudan, because Sudan has porous, leaky systems, and Saudis fear that from Sudan they can land in the hands of the Houthis in Yemen, and it can create problems for their southern border. Pakistan, of course, a mercenary state. Pakistan army, a hire for fire militia, and now the Saudis tightening the bolts because they do not want trouble in their southern border via Sudan. I believe Ishita is joining us. Niranjan is joining us for more on this live from the newsroom. Niranjan, Pakistan double-crossing, triple-crossing everyone. While they are borrowing money from Saudi Arabia, they are having an arms deal or were having an arms deal with Sudan. The Saudis really stopping it in the nick of time.
Well, Abhishek, from what we are picking up, this was a deal that they signed with Sudan. They were also going to, finalize a deal with Libya. It's going to have, by the way, an impact on that deal as well. All of these deals were signed by Pakistan on the back of the Operation Sindoor, when they went around the world claiming that their superior, they claimed, by the way, that their superior planes had, countered Indian jets. And that's the narrative that they took to some of these lesser, known countries like Sudan and Libya. And it appears like they managed to sort of get these countries to buy Pakistani defense material and Pakistani jets, by the way, which are made in China. And the irony is, these jets that Pakistan was going to supply to Sudan were Chinese jets. And the irony is, the funding for this defense deal was coming in from Saudis. So the Saudis had agreed, in fact, it was the Saudis who had brokered this deal between Sudan and Pakistan. and Saudis had agreed to finance Pakistan in this particular deal. But it appears like the Saudis themselves have now decided to back out and tell Pakistan that they will not be financing it. So that deal falls through. And with it, even the deal with Libya. So it's bad news for Pakistan. Back to you, Abhishek.
Absolutely, and a very secular country there, Pakistan, when it comes to weapons proliferation. Thank you so much, Niranjan, for joining us. With that, we come to an end of this live and breaking short break. Coming up on the other side, IPAC headquarters shut after the ED raids. Trinamool in complete denial and panic.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जल जीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बाद एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरी राजा सबका राजा आर मसाला।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching The Verdict 2026 with me, Raksha Mishra. And over the next 25 minutes, we're going to get you a lowdown of the campaigns that are underway from West Bengal to Tamil Nadu. We'll get you why IPAC has shut shop just 3 days ahead of the West Bengal elections. Remember, it's the TMC's election center. It's the election strategist for TMC. But why? Republic TV brings you a ground report and exclusive interviews also. Let's start with the headlines at 6 first. IPAC suspends all operations in Bengal just 4 days before assembly polls amid the ED raids. Exclusive visuals by Republic TV show IPAC office locked up after TMC denies reports calling it baseless. Smriti Irani speaks to Republic TV on IPAC shutting down. Questions Mamata why are political parties giving statements on behalf of a private company. And Madras High Court flags 100 crore rupee gap in actor Vijay's poll filings, seeks response. Now, viewers, political consultancy firm IPAC has now come under intense scrutiny in West Bengal after an internet email confirmed that the agency has paused its ground operations for 20 days. Operations have been suspended. And IPAC has been involved in managing the Trinamool Congress's campaign. And now this move comes amid a crucial phase of election cycle, with polling dates for the two-phase votes drawing closer. An internal communication from IPAC's human resource team, which was sent on Sunday night, cited certain legal issues behind the decision to stop work. Now, it said that the management has decided to pause the operations in West Bengal with immediate effect. Now, the question, of course, gets raised why all this happens just 3 days ahead of the polls.
The Trinamool Congress is in complete panic. With just 3 days left for West Bengal to vote, TMC's election strategy firm IPAC has shut down its operations in Kolkata. In an internal email accessed exclusively by Republic, the firm reportedly informed its employees to halt work with immediate effect. Republic reported from IPAC Nerve Center showing the organization locked up.
Right now I'm reporting from the IPAC office of the Kolkata, and this office was established in the year 2019 when Prashant Kishore was heading the election campaign strategy for TMC in the year 2021. But what we see here is that the office of the IPAC is shut down. The locks have been put up in the main office of the IPAC. And let me tell all to our viewers that this is not just the office of the IPAC. IPAC operates from different other regions in West Bengal as well. One of the IPAC officers' office is also attached with the office of the Abhishek Banerjee and in the Trinamool Party headquarters in Kolkata as well. But this is the nerve office of the IPAC, which we clearly call it the election strategy office, where almost 400 to 500 people work on a daily basis. But what we got to know after speaking to security guard is that they were informed on Sunday morning, the employees were informed not to come to the office, and that's the reason right now we see that the office is shut.
We also spoke to one of the staffs at IPAC office. Listen in.
क्या बोल रहे हैं आप?
क्यों नहीं है हमरा वो हाउसकीपिंग सिक्योरिटी और हम लोग बात कर रहा है यार आपस में।
लेकिन मैं ये पूछ रही हूँ ये ताला कब लगाया आप लोगों ने?
ताला हम लोग क्यों लगाएंगे? ऑफिस क्लोज कर दिया तो ताला पड़ेगा ना। आप बारी
कब से बंद है ऑफिस?
रोज बार संडे सुबह से। हाँ।
तो अंदर कितना लोग हैं अभी?
हाँ नहीं 8-10 हाउसकीपिंग जो काम कर रहा है, सिक्योरिटी है। अभी ऑफिस बंद है तो बंद करने का तो टाइम लगेगा ना। सब जिनिस खुला हुआ है वो बंद हो रहा है।
तो क्या एचआर ने सब एम्प्लॉय लोगों को बोला कि आने का जरूरत नहीं है अब तो कोई नहीं आ रहा?
घर में जाके काम करेगा। 10 तारीख को आएगा सब।
लगभग कितना एम्प्लॉय लोग यहाँ पे वैसे काम करता था?
350-400 लोग काम करते हैं।
और जब संडे कल सुबह से जो बंद किया गया है, कोई कारण था, कोई आया नोटिस देने या ऐसे ही बंद कर दिया?
नहीं हाँ, मैनेजमेंट सोचा कि अभी बंद कर देंगे जैसे ऐसे वो सब हो रहा है ना। किसी से हम लोग मैनेजमेंट का बात नहीं जानते।
तो आप लोग कुछ बताया गया है कि अभी ऑफिस कब खुलेगा, कब तक बंद रहेगा?
बंद है तो उन लोग सैलरी मिल जाएगा तो हम क्या करें? घरे बैठे सैलरी नहीं देंगे हम तो, हमारा कोई नहीं है।
This comes after the Enforcement Directorate carried out raids in connection with financial irregularities. Earlier, ED had also summoned IPAC founder Rishi Raj in connection with money laundering case. The agency had also arrested another founder director, Vinesh Chandel, from New Delhi. The probe began after an FIR registered by the Delhi police, which led the Enforcement Directorate to examine the financial operations of IPAC and its associated entities. The agency claims it has uncovered a complex network of suspicious transactions. Investigations reveal the scale of alleged money laundering is significant, reaching to around Rs 50 crore. ED has also alleged the use of shell transactions.
Done in Tamil Nadu, I am told that here almost 1.3 crore women every month, head of the families, are getting 1,000 rupees per month. Are you getting or not? No other state in the country is getting it. Here you have CM's breakfast scheme in the schools where the children get breakfast. No other state in the country gets it. When the girls pass out from the school, they get 1,000 rupees per month for higher education. No other state in the country gets it. You get doorstep delivery of medicines and medical services. No other state in the country gets it. That is the reason I have come to campaign for him. If you, the other NDA is not, NDA stands for New Delhi Alliance. NDA is not BJP and ADMK, NDA is only BJP. BJP has captured ADMK. ADMK is completely in the grip of BJP. See what has been done in Bihar. The Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar, he was Chief Minister till yesterday. Today he has been reduced to merely a Rajya Sabha member. Why? This will be done with ADMK also. ADMK will be broken into 3 parts and BJP will take over. BJP wants to capture Tamil Nadu. The people of Tamil Nadu hate BJP. You hate BJP or not? People don't want BJP. Tamil Nadu does not want BJP. ADMK has done the biggest crime to Tamil Nadu by bringing BJP to Tamil Nadu. So beware before you vote for them. Another thing, 1 year back in Delhi, the people made a mistake. They voted for BJP in Delhi. Now all the good work that we had done in Delhi, BJP has stopped all the good work. The schools that we had started in Delhi, they have stopped the schools. The clinics that we started in Delhi, they stopped the clinics. The free medicines and treatment we started in Delhi in hospitals, they stopped all that. We had made electricity free in Delhi. Now the people are getting thousands and thousands of rupees of electricity bill. We had made water free. So beware if you vote for BJP or you vote for ADMK or you vote for NDA. All the good work that he has started, everything will stop and you will repent it. So I will request you that you should vote for Stalin Saab, you should vote for DMK if you want to continue the good work that is being done in Tamil Nadu. He has done a lot of development. The free medicines and treatment we started in Delhi in hospitals, they stopped all that. We had made electricity free in Delhi. Now the people are getting thousands and thousands of rupees of electricity bill. We had made water free. So beware if you vote for BJP or you vote for ADMK or you vote for NDA. All the good work that he has started, everything will stop and you will repent it. So I will request you that you should vote for Stalin Saab, you should vote for DMK if you want to continue the good work that is being done in Tamil Nadu. He has done a lot of developmental work in Tamil Nadu. This development should continue. And he is one voice, a strong voice against Narendra Modi in the central government. He is fighting not only for Tamil Nadu, he is fighting for India, he is fighting for the country. He is a very strong voice. Recently they tried to do a delimitation bill which would have completely destroyed our democracy. and he stood against Narendra Modi and he fought for the people of India, for the people of Tamil Nadu. I would request you to vote for Shri K.S. Ramachandranji, who is in K.S. Ravichandran, and the symbol is rising sun. Will you vote for him? Vanakkam.
क्या बोल रहे हो आप? It was Arvind Kejriwal, the former Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party Supremo, who was in the election campaign rally alongside DMK's Stalin, the incumbent Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, live from Chennai. It's a roadshow on the streets of Chennai. And Kejriwal, there's a joint campaign, Stalin and Kejriwal's joint campaign, saying that BJP will finish off the AIADMK. Says the NDA is equal to BJP. So he's trying to say that there's going to be no place for a regional party like AIADMK, campaigning for DMK, hailing DMK as well. All right, viewers, now we're going to shift our focus back to battleground Bengal, the IPAC story we've been closely tracking. Now, former Union Minister Smriti Irani spoke to Republic TV. She's been campaigning actively in West Bengal. Now, she has raised questions on why a political party like TMC has been giving statements on behalf of a private company like IPAC. So first of all, we show you this mail we have accessed. The management has decided to pause operations. This is on record, viewers. We have accessed the email. So this is a Republic exclusive. This is an internal IPAC email. So we are not making this up. We're showing you what really has happened. They have indeed shut the operations ahead of the polls. And this is an operation that has been shut for 20 odd days. Now, all this happening in the middle of election, and this remains the election nerve center of the TMC. So there are questions being raised on that, and we spoke to Smriti Irani also regarding the same. Take a listen into what she has to say.
I'm joined in by Smriti Irani as the elections in West Bengal turns high octane and the temperature is really boiling. We're joined by Ms. Irani. Ms. Irani, how do you see this election going? Because now Mamata Banerjee is responding on everything, be it the viral video of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, be it responding on the Women Reservation Bill, which got defeated because of India Alliance, be it the IPAC office getting shut, or the ED raids happening on the Deputy Police Commissioner. How do you see this overall reaction of Mamata Banerjee coming up?
Flummoxed, if a private company is breaking the law, why is a statement of support being given by the Chief Minister of West Bengal? If a private company has done any illegality, shouldn't the Chief Minister of West Bengal, who's supposed to be the harbinger of law and order and supposed to ensure that no illegality is conducted or committed, shouldn't she stand by the virtues of law? Why is she standing with an organization that is right now being investigated for misdeeds?
One thing, Ms. Irani, how do you see this? Do you really see this, that entire TMC is furious? They are getting too desperate now, responding on BJP on each and everything.
The question is not that they are furious. The question is, are they caught? Today, when you go to the electorate or the voter of West Bengal, they are asking very rudimentary questions. That between 2014 to 2026, if the BJP central government has given close to 7 lakh crores plus for development of West Bengal, what is the hisab of that? Today, if the BJP-led government at the centre between 2014 and 2026 has ensured over 3 lakh crore rupees flows to the state of West Bengal as grants in nays, where is that money? Why is the TMC, which is known for cut money rather than development today, absolutely furious? That's because anywhere they go, this is how the people are responding to them. They are known for cut money, they are known for crime, and that is why I see that the Trinamool Congress now is raging that they are caught.
So 20 days before election, the election strategy campaign office shutting down all the owners, co-founders in the ED custody, and Mamata Banerjee responding, there's nothing wrong, everything is working, there's nothing on hold. We see the office shut down. Employees are doing mass resignation.
It is interesting that for a private company, a political party is giving statements. Why? If a private company has done an illegality, have you ever seen a political organization stand by such a private company unless they have some roots or which are intertwined, some relationships within that political structure?
Mr. Abhishek Banerjee is opening challenging Home Minister, saying that if they have courage, I challenge them to stay in West Bengal after 4th of May. How do you see this statement coming up?
Your country as much as mine. We don't need anybody's permission to come, go, stay in West Bengal. But I think that it is true reflection of the character of TMC that they today are so immersed in Gunda Raj that they will not shy away from trying and threatening the Home Minister of India. This is an organized crime political setup which held judges hostage in Malda. This is an organization that insulted the Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces, that being the President of India. Do you think they have any respect for any constitutional office or individual who has such a constitutional position?
My colleague Harsha is joining us live on the broadcast from Kolkata. She's been tracking all the developments. Harsha, if you could just tell our viewers in short what really has been going on. We've seen raids after raids. We've seen Mamata Banerjee going there personally, snatching the files from the ED officials. And it has come down to even the company shutting shop just ahead of the elections. What's been really going on?
Yes, Rakshita, and the office of the IPAC is shutting down. The locks have been put up because we very well know, because the way the series of the raids are happening in connection with the, not only in the coal smuggling case in which the founders and co-founders of IPAC are said to be involved by the agency, but also there are the different cases of the Hawala transaction and rerouting of the funds illegally, falsification of the funds, and many more monetary scams which are in connection with the IPAC and how it is related with Mamata Banerjee's party, Trinamool Congress, and that is why since Sunday morning, the office of the IPAC has been shut down, and it has come just after a report when Suvendu Adhikari stated that something fishy is being cooking in the office of the IPAC. The IPAC senior officials are giving fake media cards to the employees of the IPAC so that they could create some sort of unrest and disrupt the elections in the first polling phase, which is majorly in the North Bengal region, which has seen the unrest every time whenever there has been the election, during the by-poll, during the 2021 polls, and in the 2024 Lok Sabha polls as well. And that is the reason why before the ED would come there, the office of the IPAC seniors, they have shut it down. They have asked all the employees to do work from home. HR shared an email. In fact, the house help we spoke to, he clearly stated that we have been told by the HR that we will be getting our salary. We don't have to open the doors. All the employees will be doing work from home. Our owners and founders are not here. They are in Delhi because obviously they are in the ED custody. And so, as we very well know, that there's a lot which is cooking up in the IPAC office, and also IPAC, Rakshita, is majorly not operating from the only office we reported. There are the several bases of IPAC. One majorly being in the office of the Abhishek Banerjee, who is the General Secretary of TMC, and also one attached to the AITC head office in Kolkata as well. They are operating through different regions because now they very well know that how the radar of ED is on the IPAC. It has been since the first time the raid was conducted on January 8th in the office premises of the Pratik Jay. The files were found, the investigation took place, and how the coal smuggling case was directly linked with Pratik Jain.
Okay.
The funds were taken,
okay.
It was rerouted, all was known. At that time also Mamata Banerjee got furious and desperate, and today also we see Mamata Banerjee blatantly lying in front of everyone that office is not shut. But Republic went there, Rakshita, and reported that the office has been shut since Sunday morning. Back to you.
All right, Harsha, thank you so much for joining us with Daisy Reach is coming in from Kolkata. Viewers, we are interrupted by a breaking news that is coming in right now. This is coming in on the Noida violence. Let's go straight across to that. This is the breaking news we have from Noida after the violence erupted in Noida last week. There's a shake-up in Uttar Pradesh police force after that riot-like situation in Delhi NCR. Now, DCP and ACP rank officers have been removed from their posts. Police Commissioner of Noida, Lakshmi Singh, has taken decisive action, removing Noida Central DCP Shavya Goyal and ACP Umesh Kumar from their posts. So Central Noida DCP and ACP have been removed from their posts. This is the breaking news we are getting in right now. After there was violence, arson, riot-like situation in different parts of Noida was reported. Viewers, in the name of protests, we saw violence, vandalism, arson in Noida, and after this, The investigation continues, and now UP police force is witnessing a shake-up. And Shavya Goyal, who is the Noida Central DCP, and ACP Umesh Kumar have been removed. Who takes over? We'll try and get more updates on that. But this is the breaking news we have right now. Harsh is joining us on the phone line for more. Harsh, tell us more details, please. Harsh, can you hear me? Harsh, if you can hear me, please tell us more details about this shake-up in UP Police. DCP and ACP rank officers removed from their posts. This is in Noida Police, of course. Shake-up in Noida Police after riots in Delhi NCR. Okay, I think we have lost that connection with Harsh, who has got us this information. But this is an action that has been taken on the administration, apart from those who've been arrested, apart from the politicians whose social media has been scanned. Okay, Harsh is back with us. Harsh, please tell us more details about this.
Well, right. In fact, this is a big breaking news that we are fetching for our viewers in the Noida violence case. A big shake-up in Noida police has taken up. The Commissioner of Police, Lakshmi Singh, in fact, has taken a decisive action, removing Noida Central DCP, Shavya Goyal and ACP Umesh Kumar from their respective posts. Now, this is a big shake-up in the Noida police administration we are seeing, followed by the violent protests that erupted in Noida earlier this month. Now, this is a big action that we are seeing by the end of Noida Police Commissioner Lakshmi Singh, who in fact told that she won't even hesitate to put up severe charges on protesters who try to disrupt peace and harmony in the city.
Okay. Thank you so much, Harsh, for joining us with details coming in on that story, viewers. But we are going to slip into a very, very short break. On the other side, we are going to get you big stories from across the globe. Tsunami warning issued in Japan after 7.4 magnitude earthquake hits Hokkaido. We bring you all that and more top stories from across the globe at 6:30.
13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा आरती और मसाला।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट।
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान। अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than 25 kilometers away, almost double the old range. It flies at Mach 3 speed and uses a smart infrared seeker that ignores enemy flares and jamming better than before. The Indian Air Force flies more than 55 of these MiG-29 UPG jets in frontline squadrons. These planes guard the northern and western borders day and night. Earlier upgrades added new radars, engines, and digital cockpits, but the short-range missiles stayed old. Now the ASRAAM brings fire-and-forget technology. Once the pilot locks on and fires, the missile finds the target on its own, even if the jet turns away to dodge enemy fire. It also works with helmet-mounted displays, so the pilot can just look at the enemy plane through the visor and the missile follows the eyes. This high off-bore sight ability lets the jet attack from strange angles without turning the whole plane first. This upgrade matters a lot because the region stays tense. Pakistan flies JF-17 jets with modern PL-10 missiles that reach farther and lock on quicker. China uses even better systems on its J-20 stealth fighters and other planes. In a real dogfight, the old MiG-29 with R-73 could lose the first shot. With ASRAAM, the Indian pilots get longer reach, faster lock, and higher chance to survive. The missile also works well against low-flying drones that are hard to see on radar. Many experts see drone swarms as the new big threat in air wars, and this upgrade gives the MiG-29 a strong answer. The ASRAAM already proved itself on Indian planes. The Air Force fitted it successfully on the homemade LCA Tejas and the Jaguar fighters. Those tests went smooth, so putting it on the MiG-29 UPG is a natural next step. The request includes new launchers, special tools, testing equipment, and training for ground crews and pilots. Once the work finishes, the whole fleet will get the missiles step by step. This keeps the MiG-29 useful for many more years until newer Indian planes, like more Tejas and the advanced medium combat aircraft, join in big numbers. Upgrading the existing MiG-29 fleet saves huge money compared to buying fresh fighters from abroad. It also shows a smart way of mixing technology. India still uses Russian planes but adds Western weapons when they fit better. After supply problems from global sanctions, this diversification makes sure the Air Force never runs short of parts or missiles. The MiG-29 UPG with ASRAAM now matches.
A very good evening, viewers. You're watching Republic Global. I am Rakshita Mishra with you, getting you all the big stories from across the globe, viewers. All eyes are on the talks between Iran and United States, but it seems that they are dead already. They are collapsing because Iran has reportedly rejected the second round of negotiations in Islamabad, even as Islamabad continues to prepare for the talks, and Munir is in Iran, is trying to be the postman, of course, and getting the message of Trump across to Iran. Now, we also get you more details, exclusive report right from the Strait of Hormuz. That is on the edge. How the blocked Indian vessel crew is surviving. We'll bring you a report on that. Also, the aftermath of the massive earthquake that has hit Japan today. A tsunami warning also triggered in Japan. And also, in the final minutes of the show, we bring you India's energy diplomacy as NSA Doval visits Saudi Arabia. US Navy attacks and captures Iranian cargo vessel. Iran vows retaliation. Iranian Foreign Ministry says no plans of any further talks with US. Iran says US betraying diplomacy. Pakistan forced to halt defense deal with Saudi. Saudi forces Pakistan to block $1.5 arms deal. Tsunami alert issued in Japan after powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake hits northern Japan. And 8 children killed in mass shooting incident in United States. Man brutally killed 7 of his own children. Probe underway. To Islamabad talks, the so-called talks. Visuals have come in of the city preparing for a second round of talks, mediation talks, but Iran has flatly rejected its participation. Iranian Foreign Ministry said that there are no plans of further talks because the Strait of Hormuz remains on the edge, because United States has attacked and seized an Iranian ship, that it has betrayed diplomacy. In another significant development, the United States captured an Iranian cargo ship and Iran vowed to retaliate. Now, this was followed by reports of Iranian drones targeting US warships deployed in the Gulf. So with the mediation deadlock persisting and these strikes and counter-strikes ongoing, it seems like there has been a collapse in the PAC-mediated ceasefire. So there's a clear deadlock over here. We've heard even... we've heard how the Deputy Foreign Minister has also, we'll just play that out. The Deputy Foreign Minister of Iran has outrightly said that they are not keen on these talks as US has betrayed diplomacy. Listen in.
اولا تا الان که من خدمتتون هستم در مورد دور بعدی برای مذاکرات ما برنامه‌ای نداریم. تصمیمی در این خصوص اتخاذ نشد. بعد از اون که به هر ترتیبی بود در این خصوص تفاهمی حاصل شد، ما مواجه شدیم با اقداماتشون در تنگه هرمز، اون چیزی که تحت عنوان محاصره دریایی اسم گذاشتند. همین ساعات اخیر شاهد بودید حمله به یک کشتی تجاری ایران صورت گرفت. اینها همش نقض صریح آتش بس تلقی میشه.
All right, we have Dr. Joseph Jalil, author and publisher of Universal News Network. He's live from Florida. Dr. Jalil, how do you see what's been happening? Because these are the second round of talks. Already we see that the ceasefire has been fragile. We see that back and forth on Strait of Hormuz continues. And now even the spokesperson for Iranian Foreign Ministry has put it on record that that Islamabad is ready, US delegation is ready, but we are not really happy with the way things are going. So can we really say the talks are happening, A? And B, you feel that it's only going to get worse from this?
Good morning from Palm Beach, Florida, where the Central Command is located and where Trump is based out of. Again, the next 24 hours is going to be critical. I'm not saying it'll be, talks going to break apart or the talks going to happen. America is expecting the talks to happen. One thing for sure, the blockade is holding. There have been no leakage. One ship, which everyone have seen, been warned over 6 hours, were finally had to be shot and disabled, and American, Navy had to on board and take control over the ship. They won't know what's in the cargo because they can't open the containers at sea, so it need to be taken to a commercial port to find what was Iran trying to sneak in. But it's going to be 24 hours because the deadline for the ceasefire is ending as of Tuesday, which is US time, which is in 24 hours from now. And the same is the case for the talks in Islamabad. America is all set to negotiate, to have a peaceful resolution to this dispute. But seems like Iran is going back on the words, or we don't know who is in charge anymore, because one person says Hormuz Strait's open, IRGC comes back and say it's closed, it's firing on Indian ships. It looks like the administration in Iran is complete disarray, and they have no one in control at this point, looks like, and the Supreme Commander has nowhere to be seen.
Well, that's correct. But do you think that it could be just to spin out of control the entire situation, because the world is bearing the brunt of it and no side is ready to budge? We see United States seizing a ship, attacking a ship on one hand, and then we have Iran not budging. It says that it's not going to hand over, do anything about those uranium that enrichment. We clearly see that the important terms of a ceasefire, for a ceasefire, are clearly not really being negotiated on.
Again, I think it might be saber rattling. It might be messages to the domestic audience in Iran and to their other people, because ultimately, logically, if the blockade holds, Iran will be running out of storage space for their crude pumping in the next few days. So, which means in the next 7 to 8 days, if the end or the blockade doesn't end, Iran will be forced to shut the wells down. That's going to cause permanent damage to the Iranian oil wells. It is not like you can shut down an oil well and restart next day. The moment you cap the oil well, there'll be water seepage into it and it's going to get damaged permanently, and the productivity of that oil well goes down drastically, even for eternity. So the challenges with Iran is either they have to, find a way to find more storage, which they don't have. It's almost filling up. They don't have ships to pump this to because everything is blockaded. So they would have to come to terms. And so I think the discussion about this, the nuclear dust or enriched uranium, which is thousands of feet under the ground, it might be all wishful thinking. I don't think even if Iran wants, they can't have a nuclear weapon right now. They can't. No one's able to access it. But they just don't want to be seen as if falling on the and begging for mercy to America. So they would need to have an off ramp. Somehow maybe give it to a third party. But they have made the biggest mistake in their diplomatic and their military actions by attacking the neighbors, attacking even Indian ships. This is the mistake they made. I think it's gonna ultimately they will have no choice but to accept whatever terms America has put to them. But the challenge remains. We think this is a logical Iranian regime, but remember, it is an ideological army of IRGC. They're not there for a salary. They're for Islamic fundamentalism. So which begs to differ. If a person is trying to blow up themselves and the rest of the world, what can we do about it?
All right. Absolutely, it's a make or break day, we would say, if the talks happen. Thank you so much, Dr. Chalil, for joining us on Republic TV with your insights and your reading of the situation. We were shifting for focus now to some more updates coming in as far as the West Asia region is concerned. Tensions are flaring up in Strait of Hormuz. Now, Republic brings you exclusive video from the ships stranded in the strait. We have visuals that have been sent by the captain of an Indian oil tanker stranded in the Strait of Hormuz, showing how the Indian crew is surviving. The blockade in Hormuz has affected tanker movement, and these are the visuals brought to you from Strait of Hormuz. Straight away from the Strait of Hormuz. In fact, he also spoke to Republic TV, Republic's special report from the Strait of Hormuz, how the blockade has affected the Indian tanker movement. There you have the visuals from inside the Indian vessel, the Indian oil tanker. All right, viewers, now the Hormuz blockade. You just saw what's inside this ship, Indian flagship. Now, just going on further on this, viewers, Hormuz blockade is severely affecting the Gulf economies that thrives on oil exports, and henceforth there's a wider impact across the globe. Major refineries that were hit during the war are restoring operations. It's still in process. And now the latest blockade is crippling these oil economies. The UAE has turned to US itself for help. also warning US, while Iraq is struggling with revenues drying up as well. In fact, UAE has warned the United States. It has asked for help. It has said that if it does not help, as far as if the dollars run out, then they have to turn to Chinese currency of yuan. Listen in.
The ongoing conflict between the United States and Iran is now affecting Gulf economies, putting financial systems under pressure. The economies that thrived on oil trade are now facing major challenges. West Asia's major oil refineries, including Fujairah, Baku, Ruwaish and Habsan, were hit in Iranian strikes, and though they are being rebuilt, blockade of Hormuz has put renewed pressure on the oil economy. And UAE has now turned to the United States, looking for possible financial support. Top officials, including UAE Central Bank Governor and US Treasury representatives, are discussing a dollar swap line. This would allow the UAE to access US dollars during financial stress, helping to stabilize its damaged economy. Officials say talks are still at an early stage, but it shows growing concern over currency stability and reserves as this war continues to impact the region. But the worst impact is being felt in Iraq. Iraq, which depends on oil for nearly 90% of its revenue, is now facing an unprecedented collapse in exports. The country is now losing an estimated $5 billion every month as foreign oil companies pull out and operations slow down.
هو أكيد يعني غلق مضيق هرمز أثر بشكل كبير على العراق وربما أكثر البلدان تضررا من دول المنطقة المصدرة للنفط. آخر التقديرات تشير إلى أنه انخفضت الصادرة الإنتاج انخفض بحدود 75% والصادرات انخفضت إلى بحدود 85%.
Even if the strait reopens, experts say it could take up to 6 months for Iraq to recover production levels.
طبعا هو الحكومة العراقية تتجه إلى الترشيق ومحاولة اليوم تشجيع القطاعات الأخرى للعمل منها الزراعة والصناعة في الوقت الحرج، يعني في سبيل توفير الأمن الغذائي للعراق. أيضا الاتجاه اليوم إلى محاولة اتفاق مع شركات لإعادة تأهيل ميناء بانياس عن طريق الجارة السورية. أعتقد هذا يخدم العراق في المرحلة القادمة. أيضا اليوم اتفاقات مع الجارة السعودية ومع يعني بشأن أنبوب العراق النفطي الذي يمر إلى ميناء ينبع.
From financial backstops in the UAE to economic survival strategies in Iraq, the Gulf is now feeling the full financial heat of the West Asia war.
All right, now moving from the war, now we shift our focus to a latest example of gun violence, fatal gun violence in the United States. It's a devastating act of domestic violence that shocked the community of Louisiana in the United States in what authorities are calling one of the most horrific incidents in the city's history. It's a 31-year-old man identified as Shamar Elkins carried out a deadly shooting across multiple locations in a residential neighborhood. And according to police, the attack began before sunrise when Elkins first shot a woman believed to have killed 7 of his own children and wounded the mother, as well as killing another child. Watch this report.
After the first round of attack, Shamar Elkin moved to another nearby residence where the situation escalated into a mass killing. Ranging in age from just 1-year-old to around 12 to 14-year-old, in total 8 children were killed.
So the house behind us is where we had a very significant and catastrophic event this morning. This is a domestic incident that spilled into this house. We actually have 4 significant scenes. One scene in an adjacent parish. There's another house a couple of blocks over, and then there's 2 residents behind us that were all involved in these incidents. But the gray house behind me is where 8 children were killed this morning.
2 adult women were also shot and remain in critical condition, while at least 1 child survived after attempting to escape. After carrying out the shootings, Elkins fled the scene, carjacked a vehicle at gunpoint, and led police on a chase into a neighboring area. The pursuit ended when officers opened fire and Elkins was killed. Police described the case as entirely domestic in nature, though the exact motive remains under investigation.
Suspect in this case, this is entirely a domestic incident. So the suspect shot the mother of the child children first, then responded to this location and shot 8 children, 7 of which being his own. There was an additional child at this residence that was not akin to him. However, we're still working on relationships and whose parents or whose. It's a very hectic scene. There's a lot to investigate, a lot to unpack, and we want to do the best we can to come up with a clear timeline, a clear reasoning, even though cases like this, the reasoning will never be fully understood.
Police said the attacks began before sunrise in a neighborhood south of downtown Shreveport when the suspect shot a woman at one home and then drove to the other location where this heinous act was carried out. This tragedy is now considered the deadliest mass shooting in the United States so far in 2026, and it has reignited national discussions about gun violence, mental health, and domestic abuse.
It is very difficult. This is, a lot of times you have homicides that are people who know each other and they're fighting with each other. This is totally an unprovoked circumstance involving 8 children. It lets you know that evil still exists in the world and that we need to be fighting everything we can to overcome that evil with good, to shed light in the darkness. Well, I think the community is in the process of gathering together. You see lots of people on the street here that are gathering for prayer and mutual support, and that's what communities need to do in this circumstance.
This heartbreaking incident highlights the severe consequences of domestic violence and the urgent need for early intervention and stronger support systems to prevent such tragedies in the future.
And news from Japan, there was a massive 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit Japan's coastline, and it caused heavy damage and building and infrastructure. And tsunami alert has been issued in Japan as the earthquake have caused deep disturbances. Information coming in, we understand that there is still no information as to if there is any loss of life, but massive damage could be seen in the visuals that we have got. There is a tsunami warning that's in place, evacuations from certain areas, including the Fukushima area where the nuclear accident happened when 2011 tsunami had tragically devastated several areas in Japan. So many areas that have been evacuated. We have our reporter on ground zero as well. Nupur Tiwari has been reporting for us from Tokyo. I think she's filed this report. If you can play that out.
It's 10 in the evening. Behind me, you can see a ramen shop. I saw some people coming and enjoying their meal. They're laughing, they're enjoying their time. But northern part of Japan, they're having hard time. They faced 7.5 earthquake and tsunami warning. Hokkaido, Iwate, Aomori, Fukushima, these places people are evacuating. And local government is making sure they are safe, they are going to the right place and they're equipped. Prime Minister Takaichi definitely talking to the reporter constantly and in touch with local government. No bad news came except one guy in his 60s. He fell down from stairs, but he's conscious. So though tsunami warning is there, but nothing wrong happened yet, and we hope that things will go better from now. Definitely next 1 week we have to be very alert because another big earthquake we might have to face, and it can reach to Chiba as well. Around 182 municipalities, we have to be very much alert for next 1 week. People are evacuating from their places. and going to the safest place. This evacuation, this is not easy, but this country made sure that it can be done easily because they give the training. They give the training how to evacuate, when to evacuate, what is actually procedure and way to evacuate. Since their elementary days, the children, students, they're trained for that. And that is the reason maybe this country can face so many natural calamities easily with the mindset of Zen, without panicking, without making any noise. They just take the steps. And I'm sure that this time also, together, we can overcome this. Nupur Tiwari from Tokyo for Republic TV.
And viewers, while the economic crisis persists globally, Indian diplomacy has yet again kept the country insulated as much as it can against economic threats. Now, energy security has been secured in India, and this has been a result of consistent diplomatic efforts. Now, union ministers have been making key visits to ensure India has uninterrupted energy supply. Hardeep Singh Puri has been in Qatar, S. Jaishankar in UAE, and now we have the National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, in Saudi Arabia. He is in Riyadh. He has held talks in Riyadh, and energy, of course, has been at the core of these talks. Saudi Arabia is among India's top 3 energy suppliers, remember? And this is important because one needs to ensure uninterrupted energy supply. And India reviews the regional situation, and that's part of the talks. Saudi Arabia is also, in the latest, Pakistan's strategic partner, we can say. So India has all the more reasons to strengthen its ties, bilateral ties with Saudi Arabia. And hence what we see, the NSA is in Saudi Arabia, is in Riyadh holding talks. So viewers, so with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Republic Global. But on the other side, we continue to get you more updates at 7 p.m. US Navy attacks and captures an Iranian cargo vessel. Iran vows retaliation. And Iranian Foreign Ministry says no plans of any further talks with US. Iran says US betraying diplomacy.
Tonight at 7:30 p.m. we reveal the grave testimonies of Hindu women victims in corporate jihad case at TCS, and we also question why is TCS trying to shield the alleged mastermind Nida Khan, who remains on the run. All that and more lined up in our super primetime show at 7:30 p.m. with me, Ishita Mitra.
Join International Institute of Hotel Management. Call 983-10-50,000.
सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डवेयर मसाला
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरे राजा।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British
13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than 25.
Tonight at 7:30 p.m. we reveal the grave testimonies of Hindu women victims in corporate jihad case at TCS, and we also question why is TCS trying to shield the alleged mastermind Nida Khan, who remains on the run. All that and more lined up in our super primetime show at 7:30 p.m. with me, Ishita Mitra.
Join International Institute of Hotel Management. Call 983-10-50,000.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा
सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट।
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
कहानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10
Hello and welcome. You're watching This Is Exclusive with me, Shavan Sen. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on This Is Exclusive, we're putting the spotlight on a story that has gone completely unreported. While all the media channels are talking about what's really happening as far as the Iran war is concerned, but in our backyard, in Manipur, where there has been large-scale violence that has taken place over the last few days, there is a blanket ban perhaps on the kind of reportage that is really happening. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we really tell you why there is a sudden spike, who exactly is behind this violence, and is there a group with vested interest who does not want peace talks to really happen. Tonight, that's our focus on This Is Exclusive. We get you a ground report, a detailed report as to what's really happening there in Manipur, and I'm going to take you through what we believe is the reason why peace talks aren't really taking place. But up first, let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Five-day shutdown across Manipur over the attack that took place on 7th of April. Thousands march seeking justice for children killed in attack. Attempt to play a victim fails. No relief for TCS grooming gang mastermind Nida Khan. Exclusive visuals accessed by Republic TV shows IPAC office in Kolkata locked up after TMC denied reports calling it baseless. ED raids premises of two sons of Karnataka Congress legislator N.A. Harris and a few others in a cryptocurrency-linked money laundering case. Ladies and gentlemen, Manipur is on the boil once again. A brutal mortar attack that took place on 7th of April in Thronglaboi village, which killed two children, a 5-year-old and an infant, triggering a wave of anger that has escalated into widespread unrest. Protests have erupted across Bishnupur district. Mobs clashed with security forces, and within hours, the state saw curfews, internet shutdowns, and escalating violence. Now, in just under 2 weeks, multiple lives have been lost, dozens injured. Tensions have deepened across both the valley and hill districts. But the biggest question remains, who exactly is behind this? With no arrests yet, the National Investigation Agency has stepped in. Sources point to a dangerous mix of the resurgence of armed groups, radical local groups, and possible cross-border interference, fueling unrest at a time when the state government is attempting a fragile peace outreach. Even as the Chief Minister reaches out to Kuki, Zomi, and Naga communities, violence continues to derail dialogue. So this is a breakdown that we are going to take you through. What we are also looking at, whether at all this is a calculated attempt to keep Manipur on the edge. The reason why I'm telling you this is that even as Manipur burns, a parallel effort to restore peace also took place. But it certainly appears to be under direct threat. Chief Minister Kim Chan-sing has launched an unprecedented outreach across ethnic lines, reaching out to Kukis, Zomis, and Nagas in regions that have been long considered inaccessible for the Meitei leadership. From 4th of April to 6th of April, the Chief Minister travels by road to Jiribam. I'll hold on here. The reason why I'm talking about Jiribam is simply because the same route earlier taken by a Chief Minister, he was ambushed. Thereafter, he goes to a Kuki-dominated stronghold of Senapati. And by 17th of April, he visits Ukhrul, a region critical to Naga communities. Now, these are not routine visits. And let me also tell you that these are not just symbolic breakthroughs that are aimed at bridging deep ethnic divides, but the timing of the violence certainly raises some very serious questions. Every outreach has been met with fresh unrest, threatening to derail any chance of dialogue. And is this some sort of a coincidence or a calculated attempt to sabotage peace? In fact, the whole unrest escalated on the night of 7th of April, when Manipur's fragile calm was completely shattered. An explosion ripped through a house in Moirang, killing 2 young children and leaving their mother critically injured. What followed was an immediate and serious backlash. Protests erupted across Bishnupur district, with angry mobs taking to the streets. Oil tankers and a truck were torched near a petrol pump. A temporary police post was vandalized and tensions escalated rapidly. A large crowd then stormed into a CRPF camp, prompting security forces to open fire. At least 19 people were actually injured, and 1 death has also been reported. As the situation escalated out of control, authorities imposed a strict curfew in Bishnupur and suspended internet services across 5 districts to contain the unrest. In fact, before I take you through a detailed report, I want to first show you a video where you can see a makeshift launcher that was used at the night of 7th of April in the attack that killed the 2 innocent lives. Now, that was triggered statewide protests and shutdown. In fact, on your screens, these are the first images that you have. What I'm given to understand is that while there has been a clear attempt that has been made to blame the Kuki community, or there is again an attempt that is being made to perhaps divide Kukis and Metis, my sources are now indicating that, first of all, the groups that are being blamed are the ones who do not even have the capacity to build this. Secondly, the camps in which the Kuki groups are operating from, for them to come to this particular place, can we just remove the Imphal? This is not from Imphal, it is in Manipur. In fact, we're going to take you through some more details right now. Now, on your screens right now, these are the images of the firing that actually took place. Splinters of it reached the residence of the BSF Jawan, and in fact, it turns out that he lost 2 of his children. And thereafter, when they went to the hospital, there was a large gathering of people there, preventing the security forces from taking stock of this situation. On your screens right now, that's the first video that has been accessed by Republic TV, and I just wanted to put this into perspective. And there are some still images that I want to show you right now. In fact, that will give you a clear sense of the weapons that have been used. These are makeshift rocket launchers that have been used. And there is a clear attempt that is now being made to perhaps, blame either of the communities. And is this an attempt to perhaps divide the Metis and Kukis, to continue the divide that remains? And who exactly could be behind this? I'm going to take you through some of the details that I've also picked up from my sources in terms of these groups that are basically operating. These are armed groups who have certainly resurfaced, many would say, and they have got a new lease of life because of the violence that is actually taking place. And it turns out thereafter, when several of these peaceful rallies are being conducted in various parts of Manipur, there are antisocial elements who are basically infiltrated. And these antisocial elements are taking full advantage of the situation and perhaps making it even more difficult for a stable law and order situation. Let me go across to my colleagues, Linthoi as well as Johnson. I'll have both of them on our screens and also take you through the visuals that are coming in. Linthoi, this evening when I spoke to some of my sources here in the central agencies and as well as in Manipur Police, I just want to share this with all our viewers and show those images, because there is a clear attempt that is now being made to continue with the divide that exists between Metis and Kukis, an attempt that is being made to blame the Kuki armed groups. But it now turns out that they may not even have the capacity to carry out these rocket launchers that you're really looking at. And perhaps there are other groups coming in. On your screens right now, the focus is on the valley-based insurgent groups who are basically under the scanner. Linthoi, over to you with regards to the resurgence of these insurgent groups and the role that they are essentially playing right now.
Yes, Sawan. Home Minister Govindas Konthosam says that the investigation is still underway and no findings can be made public at this stage. So, in fact, he cited the assassination of Indira Gandhi, pointing out that the probe took over a decade and urged the public to remain patient. So, this is one thing. So, after the incident that took place on April 7, the government has claimed that they launched a combing operation in Thonglaubi area. And they also reported that 3 UKNA cadres were arrested in connection with the incident. So after that, Home Minister Govindas has claimed that the 5 suspected UKNA cadres have picked up, but the government itself admits that there is no concrete evidence yet linking them to the Thonglaubi incidents. So the big question is that if not them, then who is really behind the incident? And here we can also recall the statement of Chief Minister Yumnam Khemchan Singh, where he said on the day of the incident when he visited his the mother of the 2 deceased children, that he made a statement saying that this might have been carried out by some nearby local by hiring them. So public are also asking, like, who is he pointing to? Oh, back to you.
Lintoy and Johnson, I'll request you to stay on with us. We have a very special guest also joining us on this broadcast. But before that, I want to take our viewers through all that has basically transpired in the last few days and why there is an escalation that you're essentially seeing on the ground. We'll break it down in the next couple of minutes, but first take a look at this detailed report filed by my colleagues Lintoy and Johnson.
A state on the edge, a landscape fractured by fear and violence. And the question of the hour remains, why is Manipur burning? And is there a hidden hand behind the never-ending unrest?
जो माँ उसको उसके साथ जो बच्चे को मारा गया है उसको वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट कहना चाहते हो क्या? इज दिस नारी शक्ति? I want to say, because we want to live in peace, all we want is justice, and is that only we ask for? Is it too much, Narendra Modi ji? And the problem is not only the violence making by the bad people, but also the silence by the powerful people who has guts to stop it. That's the problem. So it's my humble request, मुझे कहना चाहते हैं कि जो नरेंद्र मोदी जी और जो अमित शाह जी और बाकी जो इंडियन की स्टेट मणिपुर के लिए बात करो और मणिपुर के लिए सॉल्यूशन ले पाओ. हम जी नहीं सकते यहाँ पे, हम पता नहीं कब मर जाएंगे. जल्द से जल्द हम सॉल्यूशन ले पाओ, because we are suffering too much. We are suffering. Even jail is more safer than our home.
On the night of April 7, the silence of the hills was shattered. A mortar, a deadly projectile allegedly fired by Kuki militants, tore through a home in Thonglaubi village. That single strike stole the lives of 2 innocent children, a 5-year-old and a mere 5-month-old. Their only crime was being home. The grief has turned into a wildfire of rage, triggering massive protest across the valley. Reportedly, 3 protesters were killed and 12 injured as they attempted to storm a CRPF camp in desperate search for answers. The next day, the streets were swarming with an angry mob, not just because of tragic incident, but because of unresolved and unheard cries. Massive civilian protests colored the streets of Manipur, even with curfews in place. In a bid to control the massive number of protesters, security forces fired smoke bombs and tear gas to disperse the crowd. While the valley was choked in protests, 2 more lives were snatched in Ukhrul, in an ambush where an ex-serviceman and his driver died on the spot. The situation has now escalated to the highest levels, with the NIA officially taking over the probe into these killings.
In Manipur, various incidents have happened, killing of minor child and all. But recently, on April 7, at Thonglaubi under Bishanpur district, 2 children, including 1 infant, was killed by the bomb attack, which was alleged to be done by the armed Kuki miscreants.
So far, no group has identified nor any arrests made, but the question of who remains. Republic unmasks the real culprit today, vested interests working overtime to derail any hope of peace talks. Sources reveal a dangerous resurgence of valley-based groups could be behind the sinister attack to stir the pot boiling. All this reveal a deeper rot. Intelligence suggests Myanmar army-backed groups and extremists have infiltrated the ranks using the pain of the people as a shield. Even Mera Paibi rallies, traditionally symbols of community strength, are being targeted by anti-social elements to sway the protest into a completely different direction. The timing is no coincidence. The violence comes just as Manipur CM Y Khemchand begins an unprecedented outreach plan to bridge the ethnic divide. Between early April, the CM traveled to Jiribam by road. On April 10, he stepped into the Kuki-dominated heartland of Senapati. By April 17, he was in Ukhrul. He is visiting areas no Meitei leader has dared to enter in years, seeking a dialogue with Kukis, Zomis and Nagas alike. Yet every olive branch is met with a bullet. While the CM moves to negotiate, armed Kuki groups like the Ukna refuse to table. Meanwhile, sources say radical elements are involved in street violence. At Imphal, thousands of torchbearers have gathered, their placards demanding justice for the children of Tronglaw B. The questions now emerges, why is Manipur still under a crippling state violence even after 3 years? Or is it a failure of the administration? Why did Manipur erupt in violence just after a new CM face was appointed after a year of president's rule? More questions need to be answered than just to nab the culprits of Tronglaw B, as a series of evidence suggests a bigger culprit is at play.
Well, joining us on this broadcast is General Himalay Singh. In fact, he is a veteran, someone who has served in Manipur for a very long time. General Singh, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. I want to put the focus on who exactly is really responsible for the current escalation. And I find this quite surprising. I'm going to put this pattern out. It seems that the Chief Minister, who is actually, perhaps made the effort to reach out to the other communities. In fact, it turns out that he has taken the highway, which essentially most politicians do not, with the message that he wants to send across, perhaps, is that it is time to bridge the gap. So who exactly is trying to perhaps derail these talks? General Singh, over to you, because I am given to understand there is a resurgence of the insurgent groups, armed groups that were quite sidelined over the last couple of years. They seem to have now come back in action.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate your TV channel for bringing out the issues here once again. I appreciate that. At the outset, it's extremely... Can you hear me? At the outset, I would like to say that yes, the militant surge or some kind of a revival of militancy has taken place in the last 2 to 3 years, and increased kind of activities. That is true. But you must understand that there are many players in this part of the world. What is happening, we are in a very, very sensitive area where neighboring Myanmar is very unstable. There are more than 24 insurgent groups operating here. So actually to just point out into some kind of a political intent, I cannot comment on that. But I feel that the state government, the central government are doing all that they can under the circumstances to bring the normalcy back into our state. But specifically what you are asking is who can be responsible. As I said earlier, those who are responsible have to be anti-nationals in the first place. Since the issue, the blast at Tronglaw in southern part of Manipur Valley has been handed over to the NIA, I will not comment much. I think your reporters have actually given a very fair idea about what is going on. But as far as the increased activities in the Ukhrul district, which happened where one of our ex-servicemen who belonged to Naga regiment was killed, very, very unfortunate. So that also is pointing towards inter-ethnic, contest in that area. So one cannot, and which may not be really very much related to the new establishment or new government formation. So when I say that there are many players, many layers of activities which are here, so I cannot blame or I cannot pinpoint as to who could be responsible and why. But I must say this much, that there are definitely those anti-national elements who have linkages across the border, who have linkages with various players, actors here, and who do not want peace to return. So NIA investigation will throw some light as far as the Trong Lobby is concerned, Trong Lobby incident is concerned. Back to you.
General Singh, what it turns out is the role of groups like the PLA, and I believe my colleagues will also, throw in more light on this. I'll just get a quick word from my colleague Johnson and Lintoy and take this over to you. Johnson, the sense that I'm getting in is that some of these insurgent groups do play a very important role. And also groups like the Arambol Tingol, their role is also under the scanner. I'm told that the Mira Paiba rallies that were basically taking place, you've had several antisocial elements basically entering these rallies and, adding to the violence that we are already looking at. Johnson, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes, Awan. Actually, Manipur, there has been Manipur is still burning right now. And after the incident that took place on April 7, the killing of these two children, and recently 2 days back, there is on 18 April at around 2:40 p.m. the killing of 2 Takul Laka civilians, including an ex-serviceman. So various rallies, torch rallies have been organized in the various Delhi districts, which turns out to be violent, and the security forces reacted swiftly by firing tear gas and all to disperse those torch bearers, to disperse those crowds. But Sawan, as per your question, these 2 recent incidents these 2 cases have been handed over to the National Investigative, to NIA by the government. So, as per my knowledge,